In Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't play fair. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26, Instant Kill. After paying 1000 life points, Dio chose a monster card in his hand and lowered it by 2 stars. Dark UG will be accompanied by great pain. Dio endured the pain and almost lost control of his bladder. Dark UG, how terrible. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Which focuses on advanced summons, this Star Blast can be said to be a very practical magic card. Hahaha, since it has been lowered by 2 stars, this rare monster does not need a sacrifice. Dio was so high that he placed the ace monster he drew at the beginning on the duel disc. Ding, the twisted evil power spread. A demon monster with a whole body of white was born. Demon summon, 2500 attack power. Demon clan. Miao was surprised and said, "It's actually a demon summon?" Most people's impression of demon summon is that one of Yuji Muto's whiteboard monster cards has an attack power of 2500, which is no less than that of the Black Magician. When he first came into contact with Yu-Gi-Oh!, Miao once thought about a question. Demon summoning only needs 1 monster, while Black Magician needs 2. Why is Black Magician of higher status than demon summoning? This question troubled Miao for a long time, causing him to suffer from insomnia. Later, Miao figured out that the answer to this question should be asked to Gaokyo. Under my trump card, you have no chance of winning. Dio continued to activate magic cards from his hand. Sword of Sealing Light. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. 3 golden swords all surrounded Miao in all directions. Under the seal of Sword of Sealing Light, Miao cannot launch an attack within 3 rounds. This is a magic card with extremely strong blocking ability. Demon summoning 2500 points to stand on the field, and Sword of Sealing Light locked up any counter attack from Miao. Dio happily circled his index finger on his temple a few times, and he said excitedly, "I want to cover a card and end the round." Ding, a cover card imitating Black Mist came out. This is also a rare card, Exploding Armor. For insurance, Dio covered it. The combination of Light Sealing Sword plus Explosive Armor to cooperate with demon summoning. This can't lose. Draw a card. Miao stared at the magic card he drew. A smile appeared on his lips and asked, "Do you know OTK?" OTK? Dio looked puzzled. OTK refers to a play in which the duelist directly clears the opponent's life points or achieves special victory conditions in 1 round after being prepared. In the game of cards, the earliest famous scene of OTK comes from the 1-round instant kill strategy of DM Dark Malik's Winged Dragon. After listening to Miao's explanation, Dio was furious and shouted, "You mean you can kill me in this round? What a joke." Demon summoning, Light Sealing Sword, Explosive Armor, and his own life points are still 3000 points. It is impossible to have a strategy of instant kill in 1 round. I haven't seen it, but it doesn't mean I can't do it. Let me see it for you. After that, Miao performed a normal summon. Ding, the little silent swordsman with a silver longsword on his shoulder appeared. Silent Swordsman LV3, 1000 attack power. Warrior. LV monsters are very rare in this period and are very valuable. Dio couldn't help showing a hint of heat in his eyes. When Miao is swallowed by the dark game, these LV series cards must not be let go. Dio wanted to taunt that a mere 1000 attack power could never defeat a 2500 demon summon. At this moment, Miao drew a magic card. "Take one of mine." Many courage. BIU Silent Swordsman LV3 was liberated by the power of this magic card. A burst of energy fell on the arrogant demon summon. Sizzle. Demon summon. 25,000 attack power. How could this happen? Dio's expression changed drastically. The attack power of the demon summon was actually 0. The magic card Many Courage can liberate one of my monsters to activate. When your demon summon's attack power drops to 0 and is destroyed by battle, you must bear the damage of the original attack power of the demon summon. At this moment, Dio's expression was shocked. Once the demon summon was destroyed, he would have to take 2500 damage. It's not over yet. Activate the magic card, Resurrection of the Dead. Miao resurrected the Silent Swordsman LV3 in the graveyard. Silent Swordsman LV3, 1000 attack power, warrior. If the demon summon is defeated by the Silent Swordsman LV3, then Dio will take 1000 plus 2500 damage and lose a duel in an instant. But the Sword of Sealing Light is still there, and so is the explosive armor. When Dio thought of this, he wiped the sweat from his face and calmed down again. Enter the battle phase. Miao said decisively. What? Question mark? When Dio heard that Miao entered the battle phase, he was numb. The Sword of Sealing Light is still there, and entering the battle phase will not allow monsters to attack. Miao, are you crazy? Even Keith, Malik, can't understand what Miao is doing. However, Miao raised a quick attack magic card in his hand with sharp eyes. The Silent Sword! Exclamation mark. Boom, the urging sword energy filled the Silent Swordsman LV3. The silver longsword was attached with a layer of translucent sharp sword energy. Silent Swordsman LV3. 10,002,500 attack power. Silent Swordsman LV3, who was supposed to be blocked from attacking, ignored the light sealing sword that was blocking around him under the blessing of the Silent Sword, and rushed directly to the top of the demon summon. Impossible. Ignoring the light sealing sword? Dio's expression was ferocious. He couldn't understand this kind of power at all. He couldn't let the attack pass. Otherwise, that damn mini courage would kill him. Under the fear of the dark game, Dio activated the explosive armor without thinking. Boom boom boom. Huge explosions continued to sound around Silent Swordsman LV3. Hahaha, didn't expect that I covered this card? Dio looked excited. No matter why you ignored the light sealing sword, hurry up and give me the explosive armor. However, the next second, after the smoke dissipated, Silent Swordsman LV3 was safe and sound. Sorry, a mere explosive armor is useless. Miao pointed at the Silent Swordsman emitting silver light and explained loudly, Silent Sword, this quick play magic card allows the Silent Swordsman to be unaffected by any effects of the opponent until the end of the round. Because of the blessing of the Silent Sword, the Silent Swordsman LV3 ignored the light sealing sword and explosive armor. This is the noble all resistance. Cut it in two with one stroke. The Dragon Sword. The demon summon was cut in half by the Silent Swordsman LV3 on the spot. The huge battle damage was converted into physical damage and began to devour Dio. 3000 LP 500 LP. The effect of mini courage is activated, and you have to bear the attack value damage of the demon summon. Miao said mercilessly. No, stop it. Dio's pupils almost bulged out, and red threads covered his entire eyeball. More terrifying pain came, and he instantly lost consciousness, as well as his own life. Dio. 500 LP 0 LP zzzz. Red lightning flashed, and Dio slowly turned into a pool of blood, and fell to the ground. The stench began to spread. Miao had a complicated expression. This was the first time he participated in such a life and death duel. But from the first step he took in Tangxi City, Miao knew that this day would come sooner or later. Perhaps this is the price of growing up. UGIO, there is more than just a warm side. If you fail, you have to pay a price. He will not pity his opponents. The dark game has always been so cruel. If one day he died in the dark game, it only means one thing. He is not strong enough. Exclamation mark. Chapter 27. This world is so joyful. Eliminate the opponent in one round. Leopard Girl's duel has not yet ended. She has just finished her first round. In such a short time, Miao killed an opponent in seconds? What a joke. How come Miao's strength is so different from before? At this moment, the duel continues. Cover one card. End the round. Miao did not take it lightly, because there are still two opponents. After Dio was attacked by Dark Game, Musen will take his place. The only card Dio has left on his field is the Light Sealing Sword. The full resistance of Silent Sword does only one round. When Miao finished, Silent Swordsman LV3 was locked by Light Sealing Sword again. However, the 1500 attack power increased by Silent Sword is permanent, so the 2500 attack power remains unchanged. Draw a card. The weak voice set off Musen's pale face, and the atmosphere became more and more weird. Miao's strength is so strong that the tragic death of Dio is already a proof. Muzan must use all his strength. He is most afraid of death. Activate a continuous magic card. The mummy's cry. Ding, a green sticker unfolded. This card is an undead. Miao began to be alert. It turned out that Muzan used an undead monster. Let me show you the horror of the undead. Muzan drew a monster card in his hand and shouted, once per turn, I can special summon one undead monster in my hand during my main phase. Scarlet mist spread. Sizzle, a red wing began to wave, and a pale vampire monster stood on the field. Cursed vampire, 2000 attack power, undead. Miao saw this cursed vampire, and instantly understood Muzan's tactics. Whenever the cursed vampire is destroyed by battle, I can pay 500 LP to revive it from the graveyard and increase its attack power by 500. Haha, this increased attack power will continue to stack, and vampire monsters will never die. After listening to Muzan's explanation, Miao said to himself, it is true. There is indeed a difference between the real card and the anime card. In the real card environment, the resurrection effect of the cursed vampire has a delay, and it is not possible to revive instantly by paying 500 LP. The 500 attack power added after each resurrection of the vampire is fixed and cannot be stacked. The cursed vampire of the real card will always be fixed at 2500 attack power. Of course, there is another possibility. DM rules are not complete, unlike K Company, which has so many card ruling effects. Muzan's reasonable nonsense is not unacceptable. When this monster appears, you have already lost. Enter the battle phase. Muzan gave an order, and the cursed vampire attacked the silent swordsman LV3 fiercely. The silent swordsman LV3 with 2500 attack power counterattacked, and killed the cursed vampire with one sword. Muzan. 4000 LP 3500 LP. This pain, I will return it to you 100-fold. Muzan's eyes were bloodshot, and he shouted, I pay 500 health points to revive the cursed vampire immediately. Muzan. 3500 LP 3000 LP. Ding, the vampire is resurrected. Cursed vampire. 20,002,500 attack power. Not enough. Not enough. The battle stage is not over yet. I'll let the 2500 vampire continue to attack. Muzan's momentum was amazing. He continued to choose to burn his own blood to strengthen the monster. The cursed vampire launched a second attack. This time, the silent swordsman LV3 and the vampire both exploded. I will continue to revive the cursed vampire. Muzan shouted to the sky. He struggled with his palm covering his heart. Almost, Miao thought this guy was possessed by Hell Caesar. Muzan. 3000 LP 2500 LP. The vampire attacked again. Cursed vampire. 25,003,000 attack power. This is a troublesome monster card that can instantly revive plus invalidate the attack power. Vampire. Pay back the pain I suffered. Muzan continued to attack. This time, the cursed vampire attacked Miao directly, and the rich blood storm continued to roll over, and Miao's arm skin was even cut open. Miao. 4000 LP 1000 LP. The pain brought by the dark game was far more exaggerated than Miao imagined. The first time he encountered such great pain, Miao half knelt on the ground. He tried hard not to shout out, and endured the pain alone. It hurts too much. Miao's expression was distorted. Ha 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 ha, is it so painful that you can't even stand up to finish this duel? Poor, too poor. When Muzan saw Miao like this, his pale face slowly became excited and flushed. It was so refreshing to see others in pain. Keith Malik had a hint of worry in his eyes. You should know that he likes to play dark games the most. Dark games are not only about strength, but also about endurance and willpower. Even if your health is not zero, as long as you can't complete this duel, you will be judged as a loser. Moreover, the infinitely resurrected, cursed vampire actually has the same powerful instant resurrection ability as regeneration clay. Not to mention the troublesome repeated attack effect. The attack power of the cursed vampire has now reached the legendary level of the blue eyes white dragon with inestimable destruction. Miao, what should you do? At this time, the real silent magician appeared, and she wanted to hug the other party, to use the power of the elves to help relieve her pain. But, Miao waved his arms to refuse. Haha, haha. When Musen and others thought that Miao could not complete the duel, they saw that the other party stood up again with a crazy look on his face. What? He actually stood up? Musen looked horrified, and he felt that Miao's temperament had changed greatly. Struggle, dark games or pain. As long as his life is not reduced to zero, victory is still in his hands. Miao began to understand why hell sees like this exciting and painful duel so much. Because the threat and pain of death make your brain extremely clear, the blood belonging to the duelist in your body is flowing wildly, and adrenaline is secreted wildly. These words may be inappropriate, but at this moment, Miao just felt that the whole world was extremely refreshing. He said, "I'm the only one in the world. Gua, madman." Wuzen was guilty and confused, and he accidentally tripped himself to the ground. Looking at Miao with a crazy face, Wuzen only felt a sense of terror for no reason. There is no reason, that's all. Keith, Malik's eyes were full of surprise. He just felt that Miao's current appearance had a kind of crazy charm. Damn it, how could I be scared? Wuzen's shame suppressed his fear, and he stood up again to continue the duel. Can't lose. If you lose, you will die. Cover one card. I end my turn. Musen looked at the vampire on the field with 3000 attack power comparable to the Blue Eyes White Dragon. He couldn't think of a reason why he would fail. Vampires cannot be knocked down, and their attack power will continue to increase. Invincible. Invincible. 0. Thank you to all the book friends for your collection and recommendation support. 0. Thank you to the book friends Zhu and Mo who Arkson for your reward support. 0. Thank you to the book friends Dang Yang, Kingfeng, 2022802021425271, Yi Yi Gu Crossing, Jiang Hu Gu Ren, Dash Enming Wang, and the Lord of Suffering for their monthly ticket support. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 Best Partner. Draw a card. Miao happily drew a card from the deck, and he activated the card he drew directly, Pot of Greed. You can't imagine the power of the banned card. The Pot of Greed, which exchanges 2 cards for 1 at no cost, means the terrible power of creating something out of nothing. Earning cards at no cost plus compressing the deck. This is also the reason why the Pot of Greed is permanently locked in the small black room. It's profitable to activate it. His fingers quickly swiped across the deck. Miao drew wildly. At this moment, he had 3 cards in his hand. Activate the effect of Mummy's Call, and I special summon an undead monster from my hand. Miao explained loudly. You actually used my continuous magic card? Musen always felt disgusted by the bull. Mummy's Call allows players to special summon undead monsters from their hands, but it doesn't say I can't use it. Miao's mouth curled up slowly. No wonder the real card Mummy's Call cannot be borrowed by the other player. But this is the anime version of Musen, and this is UGIODM, and the imperfections of various rules make it easy to talk nonsense. This operation is equivalent to the dark magician who used the opponent's black magic curtain to pull the deck in the duel between Yami Yuji and Pandora. That's right, Miao learned from Yami Yuji to make a comeback. It feels so good to succeed in a comeback. Ding Bone Pig Flip, 600 defense, undead, exclude the silent sword in the graveyard, and add a silent swordsman monster from the deck to your hand. Miao took the quick play magic card Silent Sword from the graveyard, and put it in the exclusion zone pocket. Then, he opened the deck, and added a silent swordsman LV5 to his hand. There is actually such a search effect. Musen's breathing was rapid, and he was getting more and more uneasy. Miao used the Bone Pig Flip on the field as a sacrifice, and he explained, I want to advanced summon, Silent Swordsman LV5. Ding, the taller and more mature Silent Swordsman appeared. Silent Swordsman LV5, 2380k, warrior, not yet finished. Activate the magic card in your hand. Level up. This level up can send LV series monsters to the graveyard, and then ignore the summoning conditions to special summon a monster from the hand or deck that is recorded as the LV monster sent to the graveyard. The brilliant light is released. When the silver light disperses, The perfect Silent Swordsman LV5 has evolved into the ultimate form. Silent Swordsman LV7, 2880k. Warrior, 2880k. So high. Just when Musen thought that Miao had another move, Miao ended it very decisively. Cover one card. I end my turn. Musen's expression first changed from nervous to unbelievable, and finally to arrogant. Exclamation mark. Hahaha, that's it? Damn it, Musen, was almost fooled by you. The huge contrast made Musen's hatred for Miao increase sharply. In order to avoid any more trouble, Musen wanted to defeat the opponent in this round. Watch me kill you. Draw a card. I will normal summon this monster. Come out, Pyramid Turtle. Ding, a turtle monster carrying a golden triangular tower enters the field. Pyramid Turtle, 1200 attack power, undead. Musen entered the battle phase, and at this time he played a card, Magic Arrow. Exclamation mark. You cannot activate magic, trap, or monster effects in response to the activation of Magic Arrow. After Magic Arrow is activated, both sides cannot activate magic or trap card effects at the end of the battle phase. That's right, once this quick attack magic is successfully activated, Miao will definitely lose this round. However, in the eyes of Musen in disbelief, the magic of Magic Arrow actually collapsed by itself. The first time Musen saw the defeat of the demon sealing arrow, he shook his head and murmured, "Impossible, why is this happening?" In order to convince Musen, Miao explained, Silent Swordsman LV7 is the top warrior monster. Any magic card will lose its effect in front of him, including the demon sealing arrow. This is a nonsense version of the statement. If it is the official statement, when Silent Swordsman LV7 is on the field, the effects of magic cards on the field are invalidated. This magic ban effect does not need to be activated, and is a permanent effect, so it does not enter the chain. Damn it, so what? A mere 2800 attack power, the cursed vampire has 3000 points. The attack continued, and the cursed vampire opened its bloody mouth, and flew towards the Silent Swordsman LV7. You've been fooled. Activate the trap card, and explode the armor. Miao activated the trap card without hesitation. Whoosh, the explosion began to wrap around the cursed vampire. The vampire destroyed by the effect cannot be resurrected. Stupid guy, I knew you had this trap card. Musen was fanatical, because he had defended it. Ding, a counter trap card that was covered in the previous round was opened. Trap interference array. Trap interference array can invalidate and destroy the opponent's trap card. Under the chaotic interference power, explosion armor was invalidated. However, Miao smiled and said excitedly, sure enough, I knew this card would fail to activate. After explosion armor is invalidated, this trap card will bury everything you have. Darn, the trap card that Miao had covered and had not activated at first was opened. Witch's Strike. The cursed explosion armor combined with the Witch's Strike is really a 100% success rate. So hot. The dark purple arc released violence, blooming dazzlingly in the internal environment of this dark game. Boom boom boom, it happened in an instant. Cursed vampires, pyramid turtles, etc., including all the cards in Musen's hand were destroyed. What kind of power is this? Musen knelt on the ground on the spot. What a terrible card this is. It instantly destroyed all the cards on his field and in his hand. What the hell? Keith Malik also took a breath of cold air. He was also scared by the Witch's Strike. At this time, the feeling of despair made Musen's mind collapse, and a pungent liquid oozed out from his trouser legs. I'll end your turn. It's my turn. Miao looked at the lifeless Musen and said, draw a card. Enter the battle. Silent Swordsman LV7 launched a direct attack on Musen. Musen, who had lost all his cards, could not resist this attack at all. Don't come over, please. Musen cried and begged for mercy. Miao was unmoved. He was not a gentle person like Bio Kai! Exclamation mark. Musen was slashed, and the attack succeeded. The blood on Musen's mouth spurted out. Musen. 2500 LP 0 LP. In the end, Musen ended up with the same fate as Dio. He was turned into blood by Dark UG until he was swallowed. Now, there is only one opponent left. Sutan will take Musen's place in the duel. Miao looked at Sutan with a cold look, and he stretched out his hand and said, "Now, it's your turn." Hearing this, Sutan's breathing became rapid, and his expression was ferocious, as if he regretted what happened tonight. They were wrong. The most outrageous mistake was to misjudge the strength of Miao in front of them. Chapter 29, Handgrave. 2023-1023 Author, Pure Love God of War L. Chapter 29 Hand plus Grave Pit. The third duel officially begins. Sutan. 4000 LP Miao. 1000 LP. Once the dark game begins, there is basically no way to force it to end. No matter how much Sutan regrets, he must win this duel. Draw a card. Drawing a card from the deck, Sutan used a sinister look to scan the Silent Swordsman LV7 on Miao's field. 2800 attack power. It can be said to be the best of the best. This Silent Swordsman LV7 can also block the power of magic cards. Tricky, very tricky, but you can win. Because it is a round robin battle, Miao only has one card left in his hand and only 1000 life points. There is no cover card in the backcourt. In other words, as long as this Silent Swordsman LV7 is solved, then Sutan is equal to winning. Your monster may be very strong, but it can't resist this monster. Sutan grabbed a card in his hand and showed it. He shouted, "No matter how strong the monster is, it can't resist it." Old Man Satan. Boom! A giant egg decorated with Christmas decorations fell from the sky. The arrogant and handsome Silent Swordsman LV was killed by someone's egg on the spot. Instead, a monster of Old Man Satan was replaced, and the defense state remained on Miao's field. Old Man Satan, 2500 defense, demon. This effect of liberation summoning can solve most monsters. The famous big baby lava demon and the turtle beast that can eat everything are like this. How is it? Are you scared by the power of Old Man Satan? Sutan's expression was happy. He has solved many ace monsters with this Old Man Satan. Miao was indeed stunned for a while because of Old Man Satan. The main reason was that he had played a mobile game of Yu-Gi-Oh in his previous life. The name of that game was Krypton Gold City. As the name suggests, the game is an extremely Krypton heavy game, and the effects of various cards in it have been modified. Among them is this Old Man Satan. This modified Old Man Satan is a V13 card! Exclamation mark. You must recharge 200,000 to 300,000 RMB to obtain the strong man mark. The modified Old Man Satan is too terrible. It retains the ability to release the opponent's monster for special summons, and also has the power to seal the opponent's remaining monster grids for 3 turns. The Kshatrothful tribe, Kshatriya, will say good brother when they see it. Not only that, the original Old Man Satan has a negative effect, which is that it will make the opponent draw a card. The modified version of Old Man Satan, on the other hand, allows the original controller of this card to draw a card every turn until this Old Man Satan is destroyed. Can't card dust allow cards to evolve into other versions? Miao was thinking of something bold. Just a hypothesis. If Miao injects enough card dust into this card of Old Man Satan, can this card become as awesome as the modified version? You are distracted at this time. Damn it. Sutan was unhappy. He had already dealt with Silent Swordsman LV7. There was no suspense in this duel. Activate magic card. Owner seal. Ding! The power of this magic card can return the control of all monsters on the field to the original owner. Sutan smiled evilly. He would not give a big but to Miao as a shield for nothing. The hexagonal magic circle spread, and the Old Man Satan on Miao's side returned to Sutan's field. Sutan made the final operation. He drew a monster card and shouted, "Let this card be your witness. Since Old Man Satan is a special summon, I will use it as a sacrifice for a higher summon. Come out, two-headed beast." Who? Boom! Hellfire cracked and penetrated from the ground. A two-headed beast trapped by iron chains descended. Two-headed beast, 1700 attack power, beast tribe, magic card, beast tooth. Beast tooth can only be equipped by beast tribe. The attack and defense of the equipped monster increases by 300. The sharp fangs, equipped on the two-headed beast, begin to increase in strength. Two-headed beast. 17,002,000 attack power. This duel is over. Sutan enters the battle phase and issues an attack command. The huge sound is frightening, and the two-headed beast is trying to tear Yumao's body apart with its sharp claws. Keith, Malik, watch the two-headed beast's claws about to fall on Yumao, and his heart tightened. Yumao, you are going to lose. Question mark? At the critical moment, Akari the expanding phantom of the coolie wave blocked the attack for Yumao. What? Sutan's expression was surprised. He didn't expect Yumao to use such a small fish. Discard the chestnut ball in your hand, and the battle damage to me this time will be 0. Yumao used up the last card in his hand. However, Sutan looked indifferent. Because the two-headed beast has a special effect, this card can attack twice during the battle phase. You have no cards left in your hand. No more small monsters can save you a second time. This attack is really over. Roar! Exclamation mark. The two-headed beast opened its bloody mouth again and pounced on Yumao. Keith, Malik, slowly closed his eyes. He was sure that Yumao would lose. The chestnut ball was indeed unexpected. But Yumao did not have any cards on the field or in his hand. This attack was gone. Boom, the ground shook as if the duel was coming to an end. Ha 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 ha, I won Yumao. Sutan was excited. He completely attributed the victory to himself and completely forgot the fact that it was a round-robin battle. After a few seconds, Keith, Malik, realized that something was wrong. The dark game was not solved. So this duel is not over? Sutan realized it later, and he also noticed it. Yumao stood there as if nothing had happened. Yumao. 1000 LP, why didn't your life value return to 0? Sutan looked like he had seen a ghost. Click, a card popped up from the graveyard of Yumao's duel disc. He pulled out the card and showed it. Bone pig flip. Exclude this card from the graveyard from the game to activate. The second attack of the two-headed beast is invalid. Sutan looked at the card activated from the graveyard, gnashed his teeth and said, "You despicable villain, you like to activate the effect of the card from the graveyard so much. Putting the pit in the graveyard. Who the hell can prevent this?" Yumao didn't say anything. He tapped the duel disc with his index finger, signaling Sutan to hurry up. He waited until the flowers withered. Sutan was very angry, and he cursed, "You don't have a card on the field. What can you do with the card draw next round? I end my turn." Sutan didn't think Yumao could turn the tables at this time. "Can you kill me with one card? Just try." Yumao placed his finger on the deck, activated his BGM skill, and said, "Sawado Kana. A true duelist must draw cards. This time, I will decide everything. Good fellow, this time the random card is Overlord 10th Generation's Execution Song 0. 0 Thank you for your collection and recommendation votes 0. 0 Thank you Cyan, Mutagiri, 33,021,211,680,766. Zanayu, Go maybe I. 20210708200157418 160,731,230,826,547. I can't think of a name. Dio-chan riding a pig. 20220422002223326. Zuanamio, Great Godming Wang, Yuzianks, Wenif, Non-Mainstream Emperor, Jikang Haesga. 20180629172259873. Chian Czeng, Yu Tom IMH, Luishuan Shian IE, Boyle Yangheng. 131,119,145,109,681. Langi Fizhao, Chidi Bakesing, Shuzhudao Funeo, I'm cute therefore I'm Z, Ling Dong Xinjing, Imodio, Yingfeng Book Friends for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 30 Evil Invasion. The strange and heroic music sounded, and Sutan suddenly felt creepy. The fighting spirit was enhanced by the skills. This time, Yumao wanted this card. Draw a card. He bet everything on this card. Yumao placed the card in the magic trap area of the duel disc without hesitation. Robbery. The thief Bing appeared again, and his sneaky appearance made people want to beat him up. Just like last time, the thief Bing ran to the Sutan field, picked up the two-headed beast and ran away. In this way, the control of the monsters on the Sutan field was transferred to Miao. It's over. Sutan realized the terrible thing. The two-headed beast can attack twice in the battle phase, and he was unlucky in the last round and used the equipment card to increase the attack power of the two-headed beast. 2000 attack power hits 2 times. It is exactly 4000 health points. Sutan didn't expect Miao to take this card out at the last chance. Robbery. Why did you take it out like that? Are you the angry king? Enter the battle phase. Miao ordered Sutan's two-headed beast to attack back. 1 hit. 2 hits. Sutan went to destruction in great pain. The black fog mixed with red lightning, like a demon from the abyss, devoured the body of the loser. Don't come over. Help me. Come and save me. Someone come quickly. In the fear of death, Sutan reluctantly asked Miao for help. In fact, he understood better than anyone else. No one could save him at this time. The dark game is over. Side quest completed. Congratulations on getting card dust *500. Congratulations on getting crystal *5000. Congratulations on getting golden card pack *3. Duel victory. Gain experience. Rare card dust. This reward alone made Miao smile happily. He needed card dust the most. A moment later, the leopard girl also won with difficulty. Except for the 3 stronghold lords who were swallowed by the dark game, this matter is finally over tonight. Leopard woman went to rescue Keith Malik, who was tied to the pillar. As for Miao, he was happily picking up cards. Sukutan, Musen, and Dio were all dead, so Miao had to recycle their cards. They were all swallowed by the dark game, and Miao had to keep these cards to show the traces of their existence. Devil summoning, old man Satan, sword of sealing light, these cards are all his. At this moment, Miao saw a card on the ground emitting thick black mist. This is a card from Sukutan's deck. Subconsciously, Miao thought of the key to Sukutan's ability to activate the dark game. Obviously, this card can activate the dark power, but Sukutan didn't use it in the duel. Either Sukutan was really unlucky and didn't draw it, or this card has huge restrictions. Suddenly, something strange happened. This card actually flew towards Miao on its own. Sunshine Boy had been keeping an eye on Miao from the beginning. When he found that he was picking up cards on the ground like a money grubber, the leader of Gurus immediately thought of bribery. Guru's warehouse has a large number of rare cards. With huge bribery, he didn't believe that Miao couldn't use them for his own benefit. Until the card emitting black mist showed its hideous claws. Sunshine Boy often uses the Millennium Scepter to control people. He instinctively felt that there was something wrong with this card. Miao, there is something wrong with that card. Keith Malik said this too late. This dark card actually had self-awareness and forced itself into Miao's hands. In this way, Miao finally saw the true face of this card through the black mist. Impossible, it's the sealed Exodia. In Miao's previous life, this thing had another name. The Dark Mage. Exodia is a legend in the duel world. 5 parts, head, hands, and feet. As long as you collect all these cards in a duel, you can win the duel unconditionally. This is a crushing victory at the rule level. Poor Kabasita was severely taught a lesson by Exodia. In the duel world, there are actually more than 1 Exodia parts circulating. Excluding the Exodia parts forged by gurus, no one in the entire duel world can collect all 5 parts except Chicken Sauce. In the Anime DM, this sealed Exodia head seems to be the only one. Such an awesome Exodia was thrown into the sea by the insect feather moth during the Duel Kingdom. Yellow-haired Castle struggled to pick up 2 cards from the sea, and there was no head among them. Could this sealed Exodia be the one thrown into the sea by the feather moth? But why did this head awaken such an evil spirit? And what is this huge and unimaginable dark power? What happened to this head when it wandered in the sea? Something must have happened to make this card awaken such an evil spirit. Take Obito from the next door Naruto as an example. He was a scum before he awakened, but he became a villain immediately after awakening. Exodia definitely has this potential. At this moment, Miao's entire right arm was shaking. This sealed Exodia was invading his brain with a huge dark force. The meaningless murmurs kept echoing in Miao's ears. The general meaning was, submit to me. Let me give you power. With the invasion of dark forces, the head on the sealed Exodia card began to slowly outline black lines. It looked very scary. Control. This card is controlling you. Keith. Malik saw what this card was doing at a glance. This damn spirit tried to control you, Miao. Keith. Malik reached out and grabbed it anxiously, and he grabbed a lonely one. Because it was not the real body, the Millennium Scepter was not with him. He couldn't help the other party at this time. Leopard Girl wanted to help, but once she got close to Yumao, she was immediately bounced away by the huge energy. At the critical moment, True Silent Magician and Bull Swordsman stood up. The two elves released powerful energy to help Yumao resist. Even as strong as the True Silent Magician, this old-fashioned man who witnessed the rise and fall of the Magic City couldn't help but say, "What an exaggerated power." Bull Swordsman's face turned red, and he didn't even have the chance to narrate coquettishly, just staring at this Exodia with red eyes. The power of only two elves is not enough. Yumao realized this fact, and then he made a decision. He directly raised the proficiency of the Black Magic Girl with the elf heart to the maximum. The cost is to consume a certain amount of card dust. The Black Magic Girl has a certain proficiency, and the card dust consumed is not much. Ding, the pink and purple magic circle jumped up, and a Black Magic Girl with eyeshadow and chewing bubble gum appeared. She finally materialized as an elf. "Fuck you, you bastard." The Black Magic Girl cursed and hit Exodia with the magic wand in her hand. With the addition of the Black Magic Girl, Yumao's pressure was instantly reduced. Chapter 31. Fight Between Gods. The tug of war between the three elves and Leo AI continued. The mysterious murmurs became more and more annoying. Yumao couldn't help but ooze out some tears from his eyes, and his whole brain began to buzz. Veins began to grow on the skin of his arms, and his legs slowly became weak, as if his body was beginning to be hollowed out. Yumao's essence is still immortal, unless he is not a human. How could this happen? Leopard Girl said in a panic. Thanks to her strong body, she would have fallen to the ground. Keith. Malik looked solemn, and he explained, the cards may be inhabited by souls, and these magical souls will transform into powerful elves. It is rumored that duelists who can see and contact this group of elves are 1 in a million. Yumao is undoubtedly one of them. The card emitting black mist is inhabited by evil elves. Leopard Girl didn't have time to marvel at the duel rumors. She analyzed the truth from these words. Yumao is in danger. Time passed second by second. This cruel tug of war continued. Yumao couldn't hold on any longer. If he couldn't hold on any longer, he would continue to use the card dust to push out new elves 4 vs 1. Isn't that too much? Waiting itself is a kind of torture. Leopard Girl can't stand by and watch. She invites Keith, Malik, and says, "Follow my pace. I want to continue to charge." Keith didn't move. Instead, he lowered his head and his whole body trembled slowly. "Are you scared?" Leopard Girl looked at Keith with contempt. She cursed. "It's because you were tied up that this happened to him." However, Keith looked up with a look of horror. His eyes were dull and bloodshot, and his face became much paler than before. "Why am I here? Who has been giving orders in my head? My head hurts so much. I clearly remember wandering in the sea." Leopard Girl looked at Keith's body with the eyes of a madman. "Fake. All this is fake. Ha 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 ha. Don't try to fool me." Keith picked up the steel pipe on the ground and started to swing it in the air with a crazy look. This kind of crazy behavior is extremely scary. Keith's crazy behavior caused a certain electrical switch to be damaged, and the leaked sparks fell near the surrounding oil drums. In an instant, an explosion sounded. The flames began to engulf the surroundings. "You are a fool." The leopard woman's eyes were fierce. She kicked Keith in the crotch and then gave him a diamond arm backhand. Crazy Keith wanted to resist, but he couldn't beat him. Leopard woman knocked Keith on the ground unconscious with a few punches. At this time, there were hurried footsteps from the gate, and a man wearing Guru's costume appeared. This man held a golden 1,000-year scepter in his right hand. Step. The real Malik stepped on the ground. He jumped up in the air towards Yumao, holding the 1,000-year scepter in his right hand and extending it forward. Millennium Scepter. Ding, the urging golden light shot out. With the props of the 1,000-year artifact, Malik intervened in this tug-of-war, and Malik immediately attacked Leo AI's head. The powerful dark power gathered at the front of the Millennium Scepter, aiming at Leo AI's head and about to shoot out. An unexpected incident occurred. Leo AI stared at the opponent with fierce eyes, and a translucent empty arm extended from the right broken arm. Exclamation mark. Boom. Malik didn't succeed in pretending to be cool, and he was hit by Leo AI directly. Miao saw that Malik's nose was bleeding. This wave failed to pretend to be cool and was fucked. The Millennium Scepter was spinning in the air and was about to fall to the ground. Miao looked at the golden light emitted by the Millennium Scepter. For some reason, he had a strong intuition. This thing was destined for him. Ahem. No, he should be able to use it. Give me that scepter. Miao asked the bull swordsman to take action. The bull swordsman jumped into the air and flicked it with the red horn, and this mysterious 1000-year-old prop fell into Miao's hand. The moment he touched the Millennium Scepter, Miao seemed to understand how to use it. Ding, the golden light fell around. Malik covered his nosebleed and looked at Miao, who was glowing. He said in disbelief, "Impossible, why can he use the Millennium item? Could it be that Miao is also a member of the Gravekeeper clan? But everyone has a different skin color. Impossible. Absolutely impossible." With the power of the Millennium Scepter, this fierce battle finally came to an end. The Black Magician, the True Silent Magician, and the Bull Swordsman, the three elves locked the head of the Lord Exodia with their bodies. In the last blow, Miao aimed at the opponent with the Millennium Scepter, and his lips moved slightly. "It's over." The explosive golden light filled the warehouse, and the flames that were spreading could not be spared until they were finally swallowed by the light. Boom. The whole warehouse exploded. Everything fell to the ground. The leopard girl pushed away the obstacles on her body, wiped the dust off her face, and looked at the place where the fierce battle took place. I saw. Miao half knelt on the ground, and a card slowly fell in the air. He seemed to be guided to reach out and receive a card. No, that card is inhabited by evil spirits. Leopard girl yelled. She was afraid that what happened just now would happen again. How Miao took a deep breath. His voice was tired and attractive. "It's okay. What happened just now was also a dark game. I've already won." Finally, Miao held the sealed Exodia with 2 fingers. As he said, Leopard Girl did not see what happened just now happen again. At this time, Malik stood in front of Miao with an embarrassed face. He looked at him with fear, mainly because of the Millennium Scepter in Miao's hand. Good guy. He controlled the Guru's group, and the main contributor was the Millennium Scepter. Malik couldn't explain why the other party could also use the Millennium Scepter, but now he faced a problem. What if Miao used the Millennium Scepter to point at him? What would happen? What a coincidence. Miao was also thinking about a question. If he used the Millennium Scepter to kill Malik and replace him, could he skip the advanced task to the last step? Hint, you cannot cheat by skipping the progress. The progress of the second and third tasks must be recognized by List Malikishta before they can be completed. After thinking for a moment, Miao threw the Millennium Scepter back to Malik without hesitation. Malik caught the Millennium Scepter, and his face was full of shock. There is such a thing in the world. If it were Malik himself, he would definitely turn against him without hesitation. I didn't expect that Miao, who looked extremely greedy on the outside, would actually return the Millennium Artifact. I was so moved. Malik smiled. He was so satisfied with Miao. Miao, who looked like the nameless pharaoh, made Malik want to recruit him. This was a little perverted in his heart. After observing these days, Malik found that Miao was not only strong, but now he was willing to return the Millennium Scepter to him, which showed his loyalty and trust. 0. Thank you book friends for your collection and recommendation votes. 0. Thanks to Frostfireheart 6. Dog-headed military advisor. 01. Kundong, I treat you as a friend but you want to sleep with me. 202103161820111757. 2019060401475232. Demon Lord of the Reverse Domain. 4 Gardenias. Encountering Flaws. Paper Falling and Wind Blowing. Scarlet 4 Seasons. 201912251046535519. Nameless Doing Famous Things. C_Loom. 20220801081451751756. Wind and Mist Passing. Keysing ping 20220923220031169. You idols come back when I'm at work. Funny pig. Sunny after the rain 369 WR. Monster Rydal Yakumo Purple. QHWU. Happy Bookman. Domestic Big Star. I just want to have a name. Lost in the old city. Come on and write hard. Killin' let. 20221026202930701. 33,221,211,680,766. Chrysanthemum type man. 20191114174237519. 17 asterisk 2.qdcn. Sanction 1,010,101. About Uaksu. DCJ. Book Friends Monthly Ticket Support. Chapter 32. The Vigilance of the Underworld. Malik asked a question. Miao, do you know who I am? Miao looked respectful, and he was already known to be an outstanding rebel. He answered, the person who can hold the Millennium Scepter in the Guru's organization must be the leader Malik. It is comfortable to talk to smart people. Malik was also very satisfied with Miao's answer. Wow, Malik raised the Millennium Scepter high, and he looked at Miao with a serious expression and swore, saying, I will appoint you as the Guru's hunter manager of this city, which includes the rights to manage the stronghold leader and allocate manpower and resources. In the entire Guru's organization, you don't need to listen to orders other than mine. Miao smiled. He finally took the position. The moment Malik himself officially recognized it, he received a welcome reminder. Advanced task, second section. Task completed. Rewards have been issued. Please check them yourself. Miao's action of returning the Millennium Scepter greatly increased Malik's trust. He felt that he should not be far from reaching the position of the second in command. Malik's eyes seemed to be smiling. He looked at Miao and tempted him. You are already an indispensable figure in the organization, and you like collecting cards so much. I will give you a privilege once a month. You can go to Guru's treasury to exchange any 5 rare cards you want. Miao smiled, Malik smiled, and everyone was happy. Unfortunately, the reasons for their laughter were different. Malik thought he had gained a perfect subordinate. Miao did not expect that the other party would take the initiative to put him, the big rat, into the rice jar. This is not his fault. Have you ever seen a cat that doesn't steal fish? The 2 stronghold leaders who were defeated by the leopard woman just woke up, and they happened to hear the news that Miao was going to take over. How can this be? The 2 men immediately ran over, hugged Malik's thighs and cried, saying, Master Malik, this Miao is actually a troublemaker. You can't use him. 5 days. 5 days. Master Malik, do you know how we spent these 5 days? Do you know? Malik sneered a few times, and he asked, oh, interesting. How did you spend it? The 2 stronghold leaders' eyes flickered, and felt that there seemed to be a play, and they began to put the blame on Miao. For example, Miao often ate free meals in the name of their gurus, and even deceived ignorant girls who went to the arcade to dance. Because of Miao's various bad behaviors, the KC group searched everywhere for their strongholds. All this is to blame Miao. The trap here tonight was also deliberately arranged by Miao, with the purpose of eradicating these loyal stronghold leaders. Dio, Musen, and Sutan have been killed by Miao. They are too miserable. Leopard Girl couldn't stand it. She planned to expose the ugly faces of these shameless villains. The 2 saw that the situation was not right, and immediately threw dirty water on Leopard Girl. Master Malik, Leopard Girl and Miao are in the same group. This pair of dogs and bitches have long conspired to use conspiracy and poisonous schemes to defeat us one by one to prove their ability. Then, when Master Malik arrives in Tangshai City, you will be able to use them. Miao grabbed Leopard Girl who wanted to summon fists to attack, and he looked at the 2 people talking nonsense with an indifferent expression. During this period of time, Keith was trained by Malik, but this group of people didn't know it. Leopard Girl looked at Miao. She didn't understand why she was so calm. Did Miao already acquiesce that she were a pair of dogs and bitches? Damn it, she was not angry, but felt it was reasonable. Ha 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 ha, it's so funny. You are so loyal. Come, I will give you a big treasure. Malik laughed very happily. He wanted to reward these 2 wastes and garbage. The two stronghold leaders were ecstatic, thinking that Lord Malik was going to reward them with invincible rare cards. Until Malik pointed the Millennium Scepter at the two of them and said, "Do you like this big treasure? See how?" Ding, the golden eyes of the Millennium Scepter released dark power. Dong, dong dong, the screen trembled, and the vision of the two stronghold leaders turned black and white, and then they both lost their self-consciousness due to great pain. Malik's methods have always been cruel and sharp. The other three stronghold leaders died in the dark game, and Malik dealt with the remaining two, caught him and beat him up, and still wanted to run. Asked about the Millennium Scepter in his hand, the bad breath in his heart was instantly relieved, and Malik only felt that the night air was extremely refreshing. A shrill alarm sounded in the distance. It should be the explosion. Just now that alarmed the people nearby. "Go back first." Miao said this. Malik also thought that staying here was not a good thing. Since he arrived at Tongxi City ahead of time, he must find an opportunity to give the nameless pharaoh a great gift. By the way, he will test the other party to see how strong he is. Before leaving, Malik wanted to ask, how is the sealed Exodia now? The Millennium Scepter seemed to affect Malik's vision. He seemed to see a blue 5-pointed star birthmark emitting black mist on the left side of Miao's neck. The black mist emanating from the 5-pointed star birthmark became thicker and thicker. Looking at Miao from a distance from behind, it was like watching a thrilling horror movie. Is this still a human? Malik felt uneasy, and for some reason, he did not ask. Late at night, a few hours after tonight's incident, Malik stood alone on the towering rooftop, looking down at the prosperous city with bright lights, until someone arrived behind him. "Lord Malik, the location of our temporary headquarters has been arranged." Bald Lishid looked loyal. He and Malik arrived in the city at the same time. "Very good. Sooner or later, I will make a break with the nameless pharaoh in this city." Malik's expression and tone were firm. He believed that he could do it. He would use his own strength to prove that his sister's worries and opinions were wrong. Malik grew up with Lishid since childhood. He sensed that the other party had something to say. "Lishid, there is no need for this relationship between you and me. Just say it if you have something to say." Hearing this, Lishid closed his eyes and said without reservation, "Lord Malik, I think that Miao is not trustworthy enough. It would be a wrong decision to keep him with us." Malik thought Lishid would say something, but it turned out to be this matter. He answered directly, "Lishid, you don't have to worry. I have tested Miao's loyalty. Very true. Authentic. He definitely belongs to our side. If Miao has ulterior motives, he can get rid of himself at that time when he holds the Millennium Scepter tonight. There is absolutely no need to return the 1,000-year-old artifact." Chapter 33, Tigger, no, Jaya. "At least we should use the Millennium Scepter as a safety measure," Lishid said solemnly. Although Pandora, Light and Dark Mask and others have relatively large freedom of movement, Malik has actually planted imprisonment in them. As long as there is imprisonment, loyalty and control are already maximumed out. Your proposal makes sense, but it can't be done. Malik had a complicated expression, and he glanced at the Millennium Scepter. Why can Miao use the Millennium Artifact? Let's not talk about whether there will be any accidents when using the Millennium Scepter to imprison. Just talking about the elves on Miao, Malik felt very tricky, and Malik suspected that the evil elf of the sealed Exodia who punched him had been subdued by the other party. In this case, you let him try? Malik couldn't tell Lishid openly that he was not strong enough, so he could only fool him. This matter was turned over. Lishid sighed secretly. He felt that Lord Malik would regret it sooner or later. Malik thought that he was full of personality and the leader of gurus, and Miao would not betray him. Early in the morning, Miao opened his eyes. He was exhausted last night and fell asleep. As soon as he fell asleep, the first thing he did when he woke up was to settle his rewards. Continuously obtaining powerful cards can greatly improve his strength. As long as he has enough hard power, he can face all kinds of nonsense calmly. First of all, the golden card packs *3 rewarded by the round robin battle. UGIO, start. Golden card pack was successfully opened. Congratulations on obtaining normal trap card Holy Shield Mirror Power Senior *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster Card Demon King of Swamp R** 1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Normal Monster Card Disruption Yellow N** 1 right square bracket. Fuck. Miao felt that this wave of card drawing was fine before, but when he saw this Disruption Yellow, his little heart was scared. Fortunately, Miao's character talent was not triggered. If he had been given a yellow disturber that could be called a source of pollution, his life would have been miserable. Maybe even his style of painting would gradually become more like a comedian. I did get a card. Sublime Power. Miao put this Holy Shield, Power of the Mirror into the deck. The early attack and propaganda pit is the father. Holy Shield is undoubtedly the leader in the attack and propaganda pit. This trap card has been verified by the big VUG Muto, and everyone who has used it says it is good. As for the Demon King of the Swamp, it's just a toy of Sister Pearl Tears. It's time to focus on the key points. Miao's position in Gurus has been improved, and part of his advanced tasks have been completed. The mysterious reward obtained turned out to be a random skill. Always positive, can only be used passively 3 times in a duel. Whenever the coin effect of your card is triggered, the result will inevitably be positive. After using it 3 times in a duel, the skill will become invalid. Seeing this skill, Miao showed a perverted smile. King's-A? No, it's Yao-Se. The most valuable thing is this skill, which gives Miao the capital to gamble against the dog. Janouchi was about to cry when he saw it. It's a pity that King's-A is not in this era, otherwise Miao must let the opponent see what is called heaven-defying luck. With this skill as a backup, Miao smiled and put the Holy Grail that was previously stored in the warehouse into the deck. Pot of Greed plus Holy Grail A. It makes people desperate. Miao has become stronger and also a dog. Only by not being a human can you become stronger. Super Expert Pre-Assembled Scroll. Rare props. After using it, you will unlock a random series of monster theme pre-assembled in the mall, and the first purchase only needs 50% of the original price. It's really a good thing. Use it. Miao spent this prop. Now he still has 7,000 plus crystals in his account. Isn't this a consumption wave? Saving money does not exist. If you are lucky, is there a possibility to trigger Miao's talent card Master Soul and then trigger the pre-assembled Pearl Tears Elegy Clan? In fact, Miao thought too much. With the opening of the mall, a shiny Super Expert preset appeared on the initial preset. The name is so domineering. Sky Soaring Dragon Flash Magic Roar. Miao almost thought that Rurouni Kenshin had strayed in. After clicking in, I found that this preset was actually Tigger. No, it was Jaya. Dragon Magic Knight Jaya. Fusion card. Sky Soaring Dragon Knight Jaya. Fusion card. Magic Knight Jaya. Senior. Jaya the Lost. Field card. Hellfire Cursed Dragon. Spiral Gun Kill. The most valuable cards in this preset are the and Senior cards. I have to admit that this preset is quite conscientious. It actually gave to Jaya fusion monsters, even the Hellfire Cursed Dragon. Miao finally ushered in his own fusion series monster. The original price of this preset was 5,000 crystals, which is also a conscientious price. After deducting 50% of the original price of the first set, Miao spent all the crystals on him and bought 2 sets of Jaya presets. When building a new deck, he found that his deck was very similar to the 2 Muta Yugis of the Dark and Dark series. Black Magician Girl, Silent series, picked up Demon Summon, Cannon Fodder Swordsman, Chestnut Ball and now the enhanced version of Jaya. This. Unable to figure out the reason, Miao focused all his attention on the deck. Now, except for some cards of the Twin Elves, there are no low attack white monsters with unknown meaning in the deck. Completed. The deck now slowly releases several colors of red, blue, and black, which is a symbol of power and also a mark of the card pile. The card pile is so beautiful. Now, there is only one thing left. Miao pulled out the top card of the deck. The sealed Exodia. That is, the head of Exodia. Miao stared at the head of Voldai, and the eyes of Voldai on the card picture flashed a hint of red. This card is very special. Miao had to admit one thing. This card raised his dark energy level from 1 to 5. Even the fighting spirit level was raised from 4 to 6. If the other parts of Leo AI were collected, the power of the self would be immeasurable. Miao currently has several ways to obtain the remaining parts of Leo AI. The first way is to recycle the 2 parts picked up from Miao to Yuji. But considering that he and the other party are not familiar with each other, and these parts are Zhejiang's collection, it is obvious that this method is not feasible. The second way is that, although AOAI's parts are very rare, there are still some people in the dual world who have 1 part. Thinking deeply, this method is stupider than the first one, and it is no different from finding a needle in a haystack. The last way is to use the resources within gurus. Gurus definitely does not have the real Leo AI parts, but there are fake cards. Don't forget that Miao has the card dust that others don't have. One of the functions of the card dust is to make the fake become real. 0. Thank you book friends for your collection and recommendation votes 0. Thanks to book friends come back from work immediately. Messy memories Yang Shuo Yang. Wafo compassion. 201907102050310095. C_Luke, Bird Farks, Brother Kingshan, Halloween, when if the flowers bloomed at that time, optimistic and boring days, 160,919,074,336,051, 17 *2.QDCN, the great God Ming Wang. 201902061955222038 201702210840455528. I don't know what it's called. Dreamy thousand miles horse. I just want to have a name. 150,717,224,531,460. And Zyangri Shiranome for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 34, Kyoko's Invitation. The resource library inside Guru should have Leo AI's counterfeit cards. Malik gave Miao the privilege. If possible, he would choose to get Leo AI's fake card parts first. Whether there is enough card dust is one thing, but the prerequisite for turning fake into real is that the fake card must be there first. Turning on the old computer, Miao entered a mysterious dark web address. After confirming his identity, rare cards collected from all over the world were displayed one after another in the resource library of gurus. Miao is not interested in real cards now, because there are no real cards with Leo AI parts in this resource library. He entered the fake card library without hesitation, and found Leo AI's fake card library skillfully. No more. Miao was confused. Guru's internal resources do have Leo AI's counterfeit cards, but they have all been exchanged by someone who dares to ruin his good deeds. There is only one truth. Miao used his authority and quickly found the mastermind behind the scenes. It was a guy named Jack. The other party was a guru's hunter who was currently hunting other duelists near Tangxi City. Could he be the unlucky guy in the original novel who defeated Jinaochi and took away the opponent's Red Eyes Black Dragon, but was finally abused by Yami Yuji with a trap card chain destruction? Okay, just stay into Jino City. Miao had a malicious expression, and it was time for him to persuade people to get back on the right track. Jack, you'd better hide more secretly. Putting aside the matter of Leo AI's parts, Miao had to fulfill a promise first. He had promised to buy bread for the true silent magician. What's delicious about bread? Incomprehensible. Which do you want to eat? Sausage buns, pineapple buns, or barbecued pork buns? Miao would say generously. The true silent magician shook her head. She was not interested in these breads. I have read a page in the Royal Magic Library. I heard that in the human world there is a delicacy called Wellington steak croissant bread. The production process and time are very complicated. It is said that you need to select a piece of fillet steak, cover, and massage it with sea salt and black pepper to make the flavor penetrate into the meat, and then wrap it tightly with plastic wrap to lock the fragrance. The cold voice of the true silent magician echoed nearby, and she excitedly described the process of making this piece of bread. Miao was confused, and several question marks appeared on his head. He didn't understand a word that the true silent magician said. A broken bread, it's so troublesome. The production process of this thing is very complicated, and the problem is also very expensive. Coincidentally, Miao doesn't have much money now. You promised me, so you can't default on the debt. The true silent magician looked serious. She didn't like people who broke their promises. Damn it, it turns out that eating a piece of bread can cost so much. Miao was persistent and persuaded the true silent magician with kind words and then let her go back to rest. There will be bread. When he was free, Miao was thinking about one thing. Make money. Selling cards? Miao doesn't like selling cards, and he personally resists this. Or participate in a duel event with prize money? Currently, only the Duel City is the most eye-catching in Tangshui City, and there will be no other competitions at this large-scale event time node. There is one more. Miao looked at the deserted arcade and said to himself, I should transform this deserted place. Coincidentally, Miao's vision suddenly went dark. A sweet fragrance came, and the cool touch told Miao something. His eyes were covered by someone's hand. Guess who I'm Xingzi teased. As soon as she came in, she saw Miao in a daze, and he didn't even notice that she was approaching. Miao slapped Xingzi's hand away, and he said coldly, don't do this next time, it's too dangerous. Miao almost shouted Leo AI to show up and give Xingzi a few punches of Jianfu's power. If that were to happen, Xingzi would have to go to the hospital. Ah, so cold, aren't we friends? Xingzi stretched out her index finger and waved it. She changed the subject, I'm in the finals. Will you come to see me tomorrow? Miao crossed his arms and replied, no. He is very busy. Oh, why is it like this again? Xingzi looked melancholy. She had invited her friends before. It happened that Janaochi was going to visit his sister Shizuka that day. After all, the other party had to have eye surgery. When Honda heard that he was going to see Shizuka, he immediately turned into a dog. So only Yuji could come. Xingzi happened to pass by here, so she came in to invite Miao. I didn't expect to get such an answer. The two looked at each other and fell silent. Xingzi felt that the atmosphere was a bit cold, so she started to change the subject. You seem to be very troubled. What's the problem? When mentioning this, Miao told the truth. I plan to transform 2/3 of the machines in the arcade. These games are too old and can no longer attract people. The most popular game in the world now is undoubtedly Duel Monsters. I plan to replace all the games with Duel Monsters engine cracking and human computer battles. You can also make a Duel Monster game with a plot. These are all very good choices. Planning to transform this place. Xingzi looked at the arcade and found that the place was indeed deserted. Except for Miao and her, there was not even a fly. She suddenly thought of someone and said, maybe I can introduce you to a good partner. This person should be able to help you. Miao was stunned. He did have the idea of transformation, but he knew nothing about these machines. It would be a good thing if someone could help him. Promise me 2 conditions, and I will help you. Xingzi looked proud, and she began to explain, you have to come to watch my game tomorrow, and then keep the dance machine in the arcade for me. These conditions are too easy. Okay. Miao agreed to Xingzi's conditions. That's great, take it. Xingzi stuffed the internal ticket into Miao's hand and told him not to be late tomorrow. After the game tomorrow, Xingzi will help introduce that person to Miao. After Xingzi left, Miao looked at his figure on the screen of the game machine next to him, and suddenly he was a little dazed. Why did things turn out like this? Bread promise make money arcade transformation go to watch Xingzi's game? Some things are as simple as playing cards. A figure wandered outside the arcade, and when Xingzi walked away, the man in a black coat returned to a certain place. This person was Lishid, who had been observing Miao because of distrust. Lishid told Malik about Miao's contact with Xingzi. Mazuki Kyoko, she is the classmate and good friend of the nameless pharaoh container. Miao and Mazuki Kyoko look like very good friends. This person is not trustworthy. Lishid made these conclusions. Mazuki Kyoko Malik played with the Millennium Scepter in his hand. He was thinking about one thing. How could Miao have contact with Mazuki Kyoko? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35, Kyoko or Another Me. Early morning. Jijiang's card shop. Jijiang, known as the thousand-year hostage, was holding a broom and cleaning the dust and garbage in front of the shop. "I'm going out." A starfish-headed boy ran out of the shop in a hurry, biting a piece of bread. The sun fell on a piece of gold jewelry on his chest, making him look mysterious. Muto Yuji looked nervous. He had an important appointment today. "Yuji, isn't it the weekend today?" Jijiang looked at his grandson's back with a confused look. He didn't have to go to school, so where was he going so early in the morning? "Jijiang, I won't be back for dinner today." Bio Yuji didn't have time to explain too much to Jijiang, as he was about to be late. Walking on the familiar street, Bio Yuji's thoughts drifted far away. Today was Xing's competition. With her strength, she would definitely get a place. Would he order a bouquet of flowers as a congratulatory gift? At this moment, Bio Yuji passed by a fortune-telling stall. An untimely voice appeared. "Come on, massacre, is this the legendary ancient Egyptian thousand-year prop?" The man in a black coat blocked Bio Yuxi's way with his tall body. Bio Yuxi looked alert and said, "What thousand-year prop? Who are you? What do you want to do?" Facing the three fatal questions, the man in black said in a persuasive tone, "Legend has it that there are a total of 7,000-year artifacts in ancient Egypt, and the one on your chest is one of them. Excuse me, can you take it down, so I can see it?" Bio Yuxi resisted in his heart. He was unwilling to hand over the most precious thing to others. "Don't you want to know the secret of this artifact?" The words of the man in black exploded in Bio Yuxi's heart like a bomb. The secret of the thousand-year building blocks? Maybe this man can answer the doubts in his heart. Is the life experience of another me solved here? It is related to another me, and Bio Yuxi has to take down the thousand-year building blocks and hand them to the other party, no matter how reluctant he is. After the man in black got the thousand-year building blocks, he immediately exposed his ugly face. "Ha ha ha ha, what a gullible dwarf. You actually believed that? The capacity of a container is really limited to this extent." After saying that, the man in black took the Millennium Block and ran away with a smile. Bio Yuji was confused. It was not until 3 seconds later that he realized that he had been deceived. Oh no, Xing's game is about to start. But the other me was taken away. What should I do? What should I do? Bio Yuji looked anxious, as if he had entered the most difficult question in his life. "No, this question is too difficult. I can't do it." Bio Yuji hugged the starfish head, and he was so anxious that tears were about to come out. When facing a choice, the choice forced by external forces is not important, because when making a choice, people will realize what they want. Bio Yuji clenched his fists and ran after the man in black who took the Millennium Block. At this moment, on a rooftop not far away, Bio Malik held the Millennium Scepter and watched everything happen ruthlessly. To be precise, this was his plan. "Pharaoh's container, let me see what you can do." Malik continued to control the unlucky thousand-year-old Keith and got into an abandoned and renovated warehouse. The good show has begun. Coincidentally, in addition to Malik hiding in a high place at the end of the street, there was another person who noticed this. This person was the Rabbit Demon King, Bakura. The Rabbit-Ear Demon King watched Muto Yuji hand over the Millennium building blocks to a few idiots wearing black coats on a hot day. It was really fucking. The Rabbit-Ear Demon King was almost angry. The Millennium building blocks are such an important prop, how could they be easily handed over to someone they don't know? Dashaba. The Rabbit-Ear Demon King does not allow the Millennium building blocks to have any accidents. This Millennium prop must be on the Pharaoh's container. His plan does not allow any accidents. That's right, the Rabbit-Ear Demon King wants to help Muto Yuji get the Millennium building blocks back. The Watcher Yuji chased the man in black into a warehouse. Seeing that the other party had taken the bait, the man in black immediately opened the mechanism hidden in the warehouse. Dang, 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 the iron door was closed instantly, and Bio Yuji himself was locked in a huge iron cage. Haha, the container of the nameless pharaoh wants to leave here, so you have to beat me in a duel. If it is a duel, Zio Bio agreed. Although I was the substitute before, the thousand-year building blocks are now in the hands of the opponent. Zio Bio can only do it by himself. Duel. Asterisk. To a duel quietly unfolded in this warehouse that no one cares about. Times Square. There are crowds of people everywhere. The surroundings can only be described as crowded with people. Miao handed the ticket given by Xingzi to the professional security personnel. He found a seat and sat down, quietly waiting for the game to start. Sakura happy voice is about to start. Everyone, please support the happy girl in your mind. The host opened the show with excellent lines, and with the movement of lights, this competition seemed to have begun. The first girl to perform a talent show was a singing show. She picked up the microphone and started with a bang. I always cram at the last minute, cram at the last minute. I cram at the last minute for this song, cram at the last minute. Why do you always cram at the last minute? Maybe it was an illusion. Miao looked at the only man on the instructor's side. His face showed a hesitant and struggling expression. In the end, this guy's expression turned into joy. Bang! The instructor pressed the button hard, and he turned to the back with his seat. Great, this song is so great. Tell me, what is your dream? The girl was moved, and she started to talk a lot. Miao didn't understand much, he just thought it was weird. Fuck, what's so good about this crappy show? The black magic girl came uninvited. She sat on Miao's thighs, holding foundation and BB cream in her hands, and patting her face. The elf, ordinary people can't see it, so Miao didn't care about the black magic girl showing up. Miao has gradually gotten used to his elf suddenly jumping out. Hey, how's my makeup? The black magic girl brought her cute face closer, and Miao could clearly see her eyelashes. Well, how should I put it? The black magic girl's face is undoubtedly outstanding, but it's a pity that the makeup looks like a ghost. It's too good. I hope not to do it next time. At this time, it was finally Kyoko's turn to perform on the stage. Hello everyone, my name is Kyoko Masuki, and I'm a dance trainee who has been practicing for many years. I hope you can vote for me. Kyoko looked at the audience below with a different eye. Janouchi and Honda are busy today and won't come. But after looking around, Kyoko didn't see Yuji's starfish head. An infuriating thought came to her mind. Yuji stood her up. At this moment, Miao, with a non-mainstream hairstyle and an impatient expression, came into her sight. Hey, I didn't expect Miao to keep his word 0. Thank you book friends for your collection and recommendation votes. I hope everyone can follow me 0. Thanks to book friends 202208170913344241. No Dan Fang Bei, Shuiao 20210301104134802146. A little light in the dark, a miracle reappears. I'm PPZ, a fathead fish caught. Guhoyanayu, red bean mochi with some sugar. 202210262029307001 16463989607973765512. A new day begins. 201907102050319095. Simple night. 201902061955222038. People in the dark. Love can't be easily said. 140,320,234,425,627. Drunken song. 201904111736155521. 202205231922257111 for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 36 Smashing Virudo. Passionate music sounded. The audience below began to dance along with the rhythm, picking up the support in their hands to cheer for Xingzi. Everyone, do you want to dance too? Xingzi shouted. Ah. Soon, the male instructor with a rich expression turned around with his chair. He looked at Xingzi with tears in his eyes and asked the same question again. Excellent dancer. Tell me, what is your dream? Xingzi answered very cooperatively. Right now, what I hope most is to go abroad, to study dance after graduation. The male instructor agreed and gave a high evaluation. You will definitely become the most eye-catching star in the future. The performance that made Miao incredible slowly came to an end. Now is the break time. The ranking of the competition will be announced in about 15 minutes. So far, Xingzi still hasn't seen Yuji. Hehe, the boy she likes didn't show up for the date, and Masuki Anzi is not in a good mood. This is a good opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity. In my opinion, just find a chance to get her drunk and take her to a nearby hotel. Master, you should activate the quick attack magic card, charge. The evil side appeared again. Miao didn't even need to turn around to see that the damn bull swordsman ran out again. Something was not right, and Miao was too lazy to argue with the bull swordsman. You danced very well. Congratulations, you will definitely get the first place. Miao was talking nonsense. He didn't know who danced better. People's perceptions are different. In Miao's eyes, they were just jumping around. It was far less attractive than the cards. I listened to your advice that day, and I kept studying my opponent after I went back, and I didn't practice hard. Xingzi was in a good mood, mainly because she thought her performance just now was very good. A large part of the reason was that Miao came to the scene. Unfortunately, I heard a rumor from the contestants. The organizer of this competition seems to have a good relationship with a certain contestant. Maybe there will be a shady deal in the result of the competition. Xingzi looked hateful. She looked down on people who relied on relationships and played the unspoken rules the most. In this case, let's go and confirm it, Miao suggested. Xingzi? Under the leadership of Miao, the two sneaked into the backstage building. The security around was almost the same, as if there was no security. Before the two took a step forward, they heard strange sounds. Following the direction of the sound, they came to a half-open door. Looking through the crack of the door, Miao and Xingzi found a greasy man with a Mediterranean face hugging a heavily made-up woman in a burgundy dress. The two behaved intimately, and it seemed that they were doing something shameful. It's her, Zheng Shuangzi. Xingzi frowned, and this woman was one of today's contestants. This greasy man with a Mediterranean face was called Takeda, and he was the organizer of this competition. There is indeed something shady about this competition. Xingzi wanted to record all of this and report it! Exclamation mark. At this time, several black-clad bodyguards holding steel pipes appeared behind the two of them, and they quietly approached Miao and Xingzi. When the two sides were 1 meter apart, the group of black-clad bodyguards slowly raised their weapons. Xingzi's screen reflected the situation behind her, and she turned around abruptly to look over. Unfortunately, it was too late. The steel pipes fell down, and from the harsh sound, one could imagine how painful it would be for these things to fall on the human body. Miao quickly covered Xingzi's eyes, and he said calmly, "Smash Virudo." Deng. Dang. The world seemed to have stopped at this moment 3 seconds. The head of Lao AI, who was emitting black energy, appeared with red eyes. A pair of translucent empty arms appeared. The muscles on the back of the empty hand swelled up extremely, which was extremely scary. Ala ala ala. Lao AI punched the black-clad bodyguards into the wall with a few punches. Bones were broken, and blood was splashed. Miao beat the group of people half to death. Tick time returned to normal. Xingzi was stunned to watch all this. She pinched Miao's shoulders with both hands and asked, "Did you do all this?" Miao nodded slightly, which was considered as acquiescence. The moment he survived the dark game, he completely abandoned the thing called pity. So awesome. Xingzi was scared. If Miao was not there, she didn't know what would happen. Maybe he would be beaten half to death. Her heart was beating fast now. What happened outside still alarmed Takeda, who was doing illegal things inside. Damn it, who are you? Takeda pushed open the door and looked at the people who were hammered into the wall, trembling with fear. Is this a human? Mobile phone? Video? Takeda found that Xingzi was secretly filming. Damn, if this matter gets out, he will be completely finished. If he was not afraid of Miao, Takeda would have pressed Xingzi to the ground first like this, then like this, and finally like that. Gilu. Takeda swallowed his saliva. He looked at the duel disc on Miao's wrist, and then smiled. Hahaha, you are a duelist, so let's talk about it with the duel. If you lose, you have to hand over this phone. If I lose, then this draft will definitely be fair and above board, without any shady dealings. Duel? You want to say this? Miao is not sleepy anymore. Haha, well, use this guy to try Javia's power. I agree. Miao's eyes were burning, and he opened the duel disc. Xingzi looked at Miao. Why did she feel that he was very excited? I can't understand it. She already has the evidence. There's no need to duel. Xingzi couldn't understand card addiction after all. It's more poisonous than drug. Duel asterisk 2 exclamation point. Miao. 4000 LP Takeda. 4000 LP hahaha. You're so stupid to dare to duel with me. But I know the father of duel monsters. The father of duel monsters, and I can shake the entire duel world. At the beginning of the duel, Takeda was bragging. And Miao, who was addicted to cards, had taken the initiative and secretly called Takeda a fool. And shake the entire duel world? What's the difference between this and the previous life, when I and a certain rich man's wealth combined can shake the society? Why don't you believe that I'm actually Qin Shi Huang? Stop talking nonsense and let the duel speak. Miao held up the magic knight, Jia, in his hand to show it, and said, if there are no monsters on your field, or if there are monsters with an attack power of 2300 or more on the opponent's field, this card can be summoned without releasing the sacrifice. Ding, the power of Jia and the magic began to combine perfectly. Chapter 37, the power of demonic path. The power of magic is released. Jia's powerful evolution vest appears. Magic Knight, Jia, 2380k. Warrior. However, things are not over yet. Jia has absorbed the power of magic, and his abilities are far more than this. This card can only be activated when it is successfully summoned or special summoned. Select one dragon type and 5-star monster from your hand or graveyard, and special summon it in defense position. As we all know, the effect description in Yu-Gi-Oh! It is nobler to be able to activate because of 30 occasion than to be able to activate because of 30 time. The former will not be stuck at the time, while the latter will be stuck at the time. For example, take the card 6 Samurai, Kizaru. When Kizaru is special summoned to the field, it can be activated when to retrieve a 6 Samurai monster from the deck. But when Kizaru is special summoned to the field, if there is a card effect in front of it that is being chained, then this retrieval effect will be directly blocked. This is the difference between occasion and time. Of course, DM does not have the concept of time for the time being. At present, all I have is nonsense. After saying that, Miao pulled out a cursed dragon of hellfire from his hand. Ding, the fire of hell is burning. The projection function of the duel disc is really amazing. A cursed dragon covered in hellfire appears. Xingzi, who was watching the show from the back, covered her fist and put it on her bulging chest, repeatedly confirming, different versions of Jia Knight and Cursed Dragon? Aren't these cards from the game? Are they all enhanced versions? Miao Papa, two big monsters at the beginning, and this strength really surprised Takeda. However, more terrible things are still to come. Activate the effect of Cursed Dragon. Once per turn, I decide to use the fusion monster card to include the fusion material monster of this card. Send it from your field to the graveyard, summon that one fusion monster from the extra deck. While the Cursed Dragon received the order, it began to glow and heat, preparing to twist and fuse with Jia, its good friend who has been entangled with it all his life. The Hell of Fire guides the curse, the Mage leads Jia, and finally, the Mage and Hell create a brand new warrior. Come out, Dragon Mage Knight, Jia. Boom, a terrible hurricane spreads on the field, and Mage Jia riding the Dragon of the Hell of Fire makes a new appearance. Dragon Mage Knight, Jia, 2100 defense, Dragon Clan. Miao's operation scared Takeda, and he was stunned. Impossible, you can do fusion without a fusion magic card? How can there be such a card? This fusion method, that does not require a fusion card, to perform fusion is simply a new version, which makes Takeda difficult to accept for a while. After all, duelists in the DM era are used to using fusion magic cards to create miracles. But such a powerful fusion monster is actually only in defense mode. Takeda thinks that Miao's purity is too low. Cover a card and end the turn, Miao said lightly. When Kabasito announced that the duel city was about to begin, the rules also changed accordingly. Yu-Gi-Oh's fusion monsters in the duel kingdom can attack during the turn. But during this period of time in duel city, fusion monsters cannot attack in the same round. Reason: probably during the duel kingdom period, Kaba printed, a Blue Eyes ultimate dragon with a high attack power of 4500. He thought that, if there were no restrictions on fusion monsters, others would not be able to play at all. Think about it, He often starts with 3 dragons plus 1 fusion, and directly uses ultimate dragon to suppress the field. Without adding any restrictions, how can the opponent play? This wave may be Kaba's mercy due to the restriction that fusion monsters cannot attack in the first round. A card that is a product of the times has also been derived. Quick attack. The effect is to gain the power to attack in the round when the fusion monster appears. This thing can't be found in the real card. Miao had the good fortune to collect this kind of quick attack card when he was eating instant noodles in the store in his previous life. The Magic Dragon Knight with 2100 defense power is too easy to deal with. Takeda encouraged himself and drew a card from the deck. The card he drew was Fusion Sage. Seeing this magic card, Takeda breathed a sigh of relief and laughed out loud on the spot. I'm so lucky to have drawn this card. Foolish boy, the fusion without fusion magic card looks like art. Let me show you what is called the simplest way. Magic card, Fusion Sage. The effect of this magic card can unconditionally retrieve a fusion magic card from the deck and add it to your hand. Takeda used the fusion magic card he retrieved without hesitation. I fuse the giant koala and the heart-eye goddess. The heart-eye goddess has the effect of replacing the fusion material of Miao's Swamp Demon King. Hover fusion distortion power spreads. When the light fades, a huge supergiant koala monster sits on Takeda's field. Lord of Oz, 4200 attack power, Beast Tribe, hahaha, see, 4200 attack power. What's your dragon magic Jaya? This is a great era, where attack power is king. With a playful smile, Takeda activated the magic card in his hand. Quick attack, anim. Grant a fusion monster the ability to attack during the current turn. With the help of quick attack, the Lord of Oz can already attack. However, Miao happened to aim at this opportunity and said, strong, so strong. So I activate Jaya's effect. During your or your opponent's main phase, target one card on the field other than this card. Jaya, this card's ATK decreases by 2600, and the targeted card is destroyed. Dragon Mage Jaya's ATK drops from 2600 to 0. With a boom, the Lord of Oz with 4200 ATK was blown up. Takeda was stunned. The Lord of Oz, who had just been fusion summoned, is gone. 4200 ATK is indeed terrible, and it is only 300 points away from the 4500 ATK of the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. But duel monsters are not all about ATK. Miao looked at Takeda and explained slowly, now you know why I put Jaya in defense position. Jaya has the ability to explode cards at 2 speeds, but the negative effect will reduce its attack power, and defense position can effectively avoid the embarrassing situation of standing on the field with 0 attack. So powerful. Xingzi was shocked. Although she knew that Miao was a duelist, she didn't know he was so powerful. A monster with 4200 attack power disappeared all of a sudden? But, since Miao is such a powerful duelist, why didn't he show up in the Duel Kingdom? Did Pegasus not invite him? Or damn it, how dare you destroy my invincible Lord of Oz? Takeda came back to his senses from his daze. It was the first time he encountered such a monster with a 2-speed explosion. Despicable. Too despicable. Duel monsters must rely on attack power to decide the outcome in an open and above board manner. Explosion? The purity is too low. Chapter 38 Cruel Smile. Oz's appearance did not make Takeda despair. Don't think I'm giving in like this. Activate magic card, Resurrection of the Dead. Resurrection of the Dead. Target one monster in your own or opponent's graveyard. Special summon that monster on your field. Seeing the opponent activate Resurrection of the Dead, Miao couldn't help but said, you are really a loser. It is worthy of being Yu-Gi-Oh! The most perfect hand of cards is almost complete. Fusion and fusion materials, quick attack and dead resurrection. At this moment, the cross shines with a holy light. The power of resurrection. Lord of Oz with 4200 points is resurrected from the graveyard. Lord of Oz, 4200 attack power, Beast Tribe. The power of resurrection of the dead is indeed very strong, but nonsense is even stronger. Takeda started to talk nonsense in front of Miao. Since Lord of Oz has resurrected from the dead, it is now both the original Lord of Oz and its resurrected alter ego. The ability of quick attack still exists, so it can attack. Miao can only say nonsense. Is it an inconvenience? In this era without the chaos of judgment, just talking nonsense is enough. Roar, roar, roar. The Lord of Oz is angry. It remembers clearly that it was blown to death by Jaya riding a cursed dragon in front of it as soon as it entered the field. The Lord of Oz, who has a strong desire for revenge, entered the battle phase. Ah, me. Zingzi shouted worriedly. If Jaya is destroyed, how should the Lord of Oz with 4200 deal with it? Miao had a blank expression until he sneered. Sorry, if a blank monster does not have a corresponding supporting card, it will still be a target after all. Show your hand, Dark Knight Jaya Warrior. Release your own Dragon Fusion monster to activate, and this card will be special summoned from your hand. This effect can also be activated during the opponent's turn. The power of Jaya shrouds the field. Fusion monster card, Dragon Mage Jaya is released. A brand new version of Jaya enters the field directly. Dark Knight, Jaya Warrior, 2600 attack power. Warrior, the Lord of Oz's 4200 attack power will crush everything. So what if he summons a new monster? However, the next second, Takeda's eyes widened, looking at the motionless Lord of Oz in disbelief. Lord of Oz, 3700 defense power. Beast tribe. Impossible. Why did my Lord of Oz change to defense position? What happened? Is there an error in the duel disc? Takeda couldn't understand this situation at all. Miao kindly explained. Sorry, it can only be activated when the Dark Knight enters the field, and one monster in attack position on the field is turned into defense position. The Lord of Oz's attack power is indeed very high, but it is only very high. Without resistance, everything is in vain. Damn, so that's it. Takeda's fingers trembled with anger. He had never experienced such a strange duel before. The effect of the second speed explosion card, the hand pit jump monster, can also be forced to switch to defense. What the hell is this? Is this the latest type of card? Takeda took a deep breath and forced himself to calm down. Humph, even in the defensive state, the Lord of Oz has a full 3700 points. Your Dark Knight Jaya only has 2600 attack power. The purity is too low. Takeda said a few harsh words, and he ended this round with a curse. 3700 points of defense power is indeed not to be underestimated. If it were Miao before, it would be difficult to break through this defense value if he didn't use a powerful grab or lightning strike. Even Silent Magician LV8 can't do it, but the opponent shouldn't underestimate Jaya's power. Come on, Miao. Zingzi, a spectator, acted as a cheerleader and began to cheer on the side. This is the treatment of Muta Yuji. My turn. Draw a card. Miao drew a card lightly. In his eyes, this duel was not stressful at all. Zingzi's encouragement was useless. Activate the effect of Dark Knight Jaya on the field. Release this card to activate. I add a level 7 or higher warrior type monster from my deck to my hand, except for Dark Knight Jaya Warrior. Dark Knight is released. Miao pulls out the entire deck and starts to select. The card he selects is the second Magic Knight, Jaya. Seeing this Magic Knight, Jaya, Takeda's fear suddenly rises. Are you planning to use the kind of fusion that does not require a fusion card again? Dragon Magic Knight Jaya's card bombing ability is too terrible. The Lord of Oz with 3700 defense can't resist it at all. The only good news is that after Dragon Magic Knight bombs the card, its attack power will drop by 2600 points, and the fusion monster cannot attack during the turn. Takeda will not receive a lot of battle damage. Things develop just as Takeda thought. Magic Knight Jaya enters the field and activates its effect to revive the Hellfire Cursed Dragon in the graveyard. Use the effect of Cursed Dragon to perform a fusion. Even though Zingzi was a duel novice, she could see what Miao would do next. However, Takeda and Zingzi both guessed wrong. Miao did not use the fusion effect of Cursed Dragon of Hellfire. Instead, he activated a special fusion magic card. Spiral Fusion. Spiral Fusion? Takeda had never heard of this fusion magic card. At this moment, shock and fear filled his heart. The uneasiness in his heart was amplified wildly. Send Cursed Dragon of Hellfire and Magic Knight Jaya from your field to the graveyard, and fusion summon one fusion monster from the extra deck. Compared to the Hellfire fusion of Cursed Dragon, the momentum of Spiral Fusion is even more terrifying. It is comparable to the Hurricane, generated by Wind-style Rasen Shuriken. After waiting for the hurricane to disperse, this time it is not Dragon Magic Knight Javier that enters the field, but Sky Flying Dragon Knight Javier. Soaring Dragon Knight Javier. 26,005,280k, 5200? Are you kidding me? Takeda was stunned when he saw this 80k. Even the legendary Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and 5 Divine Dragons couldn't match this. Spiral Fusion can increase Jair's fusion monsters 80k by 2600, and it can attack monsters twice in a row during a battle phase. Miao pointed at Soaring Dragon Knight and said, activate the Dragon Knight effect and retrieve a spiral gun kill from the deck. After taking a lot of trouble to unplug and expand the deck, Miao added spiral gun kill to his hand. Activate the continuous magic card, Spiral Gun Kill. This continuous magic card will grant Dragon Knight the defense penetration effect. Activate Shallow Grave. This magic card Shallow Grave allows both players to revive monster from the inside of the graveyard in defense, face up, position. It doesn't matter what is resurrected. What matters is that the Soaring Dragon Knight with 5280k can attack twice and has a defense penetration effect. This is the offensive enhancement version of Fire Summon plus Ally. The opponent already has 2 targets on the field. Takeda was at a loss. He was confused by the search and penetration effects of these Javier. In the midst of panic, Takeda remembered a life-saving straw. He pointed at Miao with an ecstatic expression and shouted, "Ha ha ha, your Javier is really powerful, but it's a pity that I forgot one thing. This is the rule of Duel City. Fusion monsters cannot attack during the turn they enter the field." Big idiot. So you are a big idiot. Hearing this, Xingzi looked at Miao with a calm face. She felt that things were not that simple. What's wrong with Kana? Miao looked indifferent. He said, I don't have the magic card Quick Attack, but I opened the covered trap card, Grave Robber. Choose a magic card in the opponent's graveyard to use as your own card. If Miao activates this magic card, you have to pay 2000 life points as the price. This is a real card Grave Robber, not the anime version of Janouchi. Very good. Now guess what magic card I'm going to take from your graveyard? Miao showed an extremely cruel smile. When Takeda saw this smile, his crotch began to wet. Chapter 39 The Great Devil also needs to learn. Guess. Takeda showed a flattering and funny expression, and he asked tentatively, are you going to take the fusion magic card in my graveyard? Anzi looked at him with contempt, and she said, not only is he evil-hearted, but he is also shameless. An invisible little hand got into Takeda's duel disc and took a magic card from the graveyard. Quick Attack. Miao took Quick Attack in his hand and activated it directly. With the Quick Attack card, Sky Knight Javier gained the right to attack. Fight. Miao launched the attack. Sky Knight with 5200 attack power rushed towards the Lord of Oz. Miao chose not to activate the effect of Sky Dragon Knight to change the monster position. Boom, the Lord of Oz with 3700 defense power was crushed. Army Takeda shouted while covering his head. Takeda. 4000 LP 2500 LP. Spiral Gun activates the effect of this green sticker. When Javier inflicts battle damage to the opponent, Miao can draw 2 cards from the deck and then choose 1 card in hand to discard. Miao symbolically got a card for free. Oh my god, there's a second attack. Miao mercilessly launched the second wave of attack granted by Spiral Fusion. Chiangxiang Spiral Spear. This attack is irresistible. The monster covered by Takeda's resurrection is a giant koala with a big but with a defense of 2000 points. Unfortunately, Chiangxiang Javier's attack power is too high. Boom. The spiral spear penetrates the opponent. Takeda. 2500 LP 0 LP. Winner, Miao. Duel victory. Get character experience * 3000. Congratulations on reaching level 10. Please collect the reward yourself. Great. Miao won. Xingzi looked happy. Takeda lay on the ground with a look of ashes. At the same time, in the warehouse on the other side, a certain duel was also about to come to an end. What a strong monster. So I'm going to open this covered trap card. Ceiling. Xiaobao showed a proud smile. He had endured for so long in the early stage, and now it was time to fight back. Ceiling. This card can only be activated when there are 4 or more monsters on the field. All face-up monsters on the field are destroyed. What? The black-clad man controlled by Malik had a horrified expression. He had a total of 5 monsters on the field, while Yuji Muto only had 1 marshmallow in defense position on the field. A ceiling. Yuji Muto used the least resources to exchange for 5 powerful monster cards on Malik's field. In the end, Malik was taken away directly by Yuji Muto's resurrection of the dead black magician and summoning a cannon fodder swordsman. On the rooftop, Malik looked dumb. This container of the nameless pharaoh, how could he play cards so meanly? Tolerating a ceiling for so long? Waiting for him to happily lay out all the monsters before activating? No, I didn't lose. This is not my deck. The power of the winged dragon is my real strength. Malik quickly came up with a perfect reason. Losing to the container of the pharaoh was too low for him. But don't think you can run away just because you win him once. And there is another thing worth paying attention to. From the beginning of the duel, Malik discovered that someone was peeping from above the warehouse. The evil in this guy was beyond imagination. For a moment, Malik couldn't guess what this person's goal was. No matter what you are, my plan will not change. After saying that, Malik used the trap of the warehouse in a despicable way! Zyobio was in a crisis. At this moment, the fire spread in the warehouse, but he refused to leave, because the Millennium Block was locked on the wall by Malik's despicable means. I won't leave unless I take away the Millennium Block. Zyobio used his small body to pull the Millennium Block locked on the wall. Because of his height, Zyobio, who was not good at strength, found it even more difficult to exert force. Snap. Crack. The top broke, and a huge pillar with flames spread fell. Zyobio below didn't care at all, and he only had the Millennium Block in his eyes. At this critical moment, be careful. The rabbit-eared devil couldn't bear it. He showed his agility and instantly threw down Muto Yuji. This avoided the ending of the nameless pharaoh container dying suddenly. The rabbit-eared devil was also very nervous about the Millennium Block. He was going to do something with it. Bang! The door behind was knocked open. 2 men in high school uniforms appeared. The hidden rich Honda and the gambling king Janauchi. Everyone, why are you here? Zyobio looked surprised. Thanks to Bakira for notifying us. Honda looked anxious. He saw that Yuji was very concerned about the Millennium Block. Don't worry about it, let's run. Janauchi hugged Zyobio and tried to take him away by force. Zyobio held the Millennium Block tightly and even revealed a real secret. In fact, there are 2 Yuji Muto, one hidden in the Millennium Block, and the other is myself. And the Yuji Muto that everyone sees in the duel is actually another me. Janauchi and Honda were stunned. But even people can be sucked into the cards. This outrageous thing seems understandable. Let us help you. Janauchi and Honda picked up the iron rod on the ground and slammed a big iron nail. It was this big iron nail that fixed the Millennium Block to the wall. The fire was getting bigger and bigger. The rabbit-eared demon king watched Janauchi and the other man hammering the big iron nail, and the face of this great evil god turned black. Couldn't these 2 people see that the more they hammered, the deeper the nail would go into the wall? Are you guys sleeping in physics class? The rabbit-eared demon king asked. Janauchi and Honda were stunned. Why don't you put the iron rod into the iron nail circle and then use the lever principle? The rabbit-eared demon king, who was trying to destroy the world all day, would occasionally attend classes. What on earth do these humans usually do? Oh, they skip classes all day. A word awakened the dreamer. Janauchi and Honda suddenly realized. Under the guidance of the rabbit-eared demon king, the Millennium Block was successfully taken down. The 4 people finally escaped from the burning warehouse. Zyobio sat on the ground, holding on to his most precious treasure tightly. Millennium Block. Oh no. And his promise. Zyobio hurriedly put on the Millennium Block, and he took Janauchi and others to a destination. About half an hour later, Abaya and Janauchi came to Anz's performance together. Judging from the excited expressions of the audience, they seemed to have caught up with the award ceremony. Great. Abaya was excited, at least he caught up with the end. Coincidentally, on the stage, a man in sunglasses and black clothes appeared as the award presenter. He is Isano, a loyal member of the KC group. You may not believe it. The biggest sponsor of this talent show is the KC group. and Z reported the video evidence to the authorities, and Takeda was eliminated at the speed of light. Then the KC group sent Isano to act as a righteous referee, a role like Captain Dragonfly. First, never act on impulse. Second, never miss any bad thing. Third, the referee is absolutely fair and beautiful. Isano picked up the microphone with a righteous look and announced loudly, the champion of this year's Happy Voice is 17-year-old Masaki Anko. Fireworks and cannons began to bloom. Zyobio's face was relieved. I knew Anko would be able to do it. The first place Anko walked onto the stage and personally took the trophy and honor handed over by Isano. The popular group photo session appeared. In Zyobio's vision, he saw Anko forcibly pulling someone next to her to take a group photo. 0 thanks to the book friends Happy Bookman and Kilonly bosses for their awards and support. 0 thanks to the book friends for their collection and recommendation votes. 0 thanks to 202071409360947. Changkunjin. I don't know what to call. Nosebleed. 20220523192225711. 161,126,153,357,395. Night 002. 2019012608361280. Zuan Hu Arkson, Great God Ming Wang, Nine-Tailed Foxerry, Huho Sanctuary, Happy Bookman, Baze Eugen, I just want to have a name, Messi Memorizo, Coke Cat, Luishuan Shianai for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 40k Basito feels strange. How can I bear to blame you for your mistakes? I gave you too much freedom. I made you more lonely, and you fell into the whirlpool of emotions. A very appropriate song appeared, and Honda took out his mobile phone in a panic to answer it. Zyobio next to him was watching the two people on the stage taking a photo. At this time, he was in a very complicated mood. Why does this person look so much like Yuji? Janouchi looked at Miao on the stage carefully. He looked at Yuji, and then at Miao on the stage. Except for the different hairstyles, eye colors, and heights, the two people's facial features are almost the same. Janouchi wondered if Yuji had a biological brother who was living outside. Compared with the white scholar on the side, the rabbit-eared devil never took his eyes off the man on the stage who looked like Yuji Muto. He felt a strong evil from this man, and this face that looked like Yuji Muto made him feel more uneasy. Who is this man? The rabbit-eared devil felt fear for the first time. A transparent shadow appeared next to Zyobio. His eyes were sharp and the lines on his face were tougher than those of the gentle Zyobio. Rather than saying that Yumaro looks like Zyobio, it is better to say that he looks more like this Anuji. The rich emotions between people are not mutually exchanged. Anuji is not interested in the relationship between men and women. He only cares about friendship and amo! Exclamation mark. Yumaro on the stage fell into Anuji's eyes, and he also felt an incomparable power and oppression from the other party. Amo. This man is very strong. Anuji reminded Zyobio, who was hit by the stun skill next to him. As a true duelist, Anuji also likes to fight with strong people. If the duel city is the top battlefield, then sooner or later, he will meet this man. At this time, Xingzi finally saw Yuji and others. She smiled and said, everyone. She ran to Janouchi and others, looking angry. Today, they didn't come to watch her game. Xingzi, who is the person who looks exactly like Yuji next to you just now. Janouchi was very curious. Xingzi has always been a member of their small circle. When did she meet other friends outside? Zyobio's ears moved, and he had to pay close attention to what Xingzi said. That's Yumaro. Come, I'll introduce you to each other. Xingzi wanted to introduce Yumaro to Yuji and the others, so that they could get to know each other. After all, they were all duelists, so they should have more topics to talk about. But Yumaro on the stage had disappeared without a trace. Hey, where is he? Xingzi was confused, as he was clearly there just now. Could this be the legendary Ao Leng? The only person present was the rabbit-eared Demon King, who was alert. He had just felt a strong dark force for a moment. His vision was distorted for a few seconds, and when he came to his senses, the man named Yumaro was gone. It seems that time has been manipulated. Yumaro did leave, because he saw the rabbit-eared Demon King. From the other's eyes, Miao judged that this guy was an Mo Liang. The so-called Mo Liang was just a part of the soul of the great evil god Zalk. If Malik is stupid and cute, then an Mo Liang is evil. At this time, it seemed that there was no benefit in contacting an Mo Liang, so Miao used Leo AI's power to pause time and let himself leave. The next day, Xingzi came to the arcade to find Miao again. She kept her promise and brought a man with her. This capable person can definitely help Miao. The man had long black hair, braided hair, and wore a headscarf. He was Yuji Longa. The other party's initial setting was the founder of DDD Games and a genius game designer. Yuji Longa had heard about the Millennium Building Blocks from his father, so he wanted to get the Millennium Building Blocks, but in the end, he became a member of the protagonist group by mistake. You are Miao, right? Xingzi asked me to help. Yuji Longa glanced at the old arcades around him, and he began to use his expertise. Arcade games are no longer popular. I heard that you want to change the content of these machines to duel monsters? Yuji Longa asked. That's right, not only the content needs to be changed, maybe these machines need to be refurbished. Miao walked aside and started discussing with the other party. Finally, Ryuji thought this method was feasible. As for the game content, I can help you with it for free. These machines must be replaced. Sell them and make up the difference. I recommend these resources to you. Ryuji is from a gaming family and has a lot of connections. This time he can be considered to be helping his grandmother. But the difference can only be made by Miao. Ryuji is not a charity. Thank you. Miao accepted the other party's kindness. But where can I get the difference? Selling cards. Miao doesn't consider it. Ask Malik for it. In this way, he will owe a favor. How can he return the favor in the future? Ding ding ding. Xingzi handed out a check. She smiled and said, I will help you make up the difference. As a stake in this place. This is yesterday's bonus. Miao looked strange. Xingzi had already saved up the money to go abroad in the future, and what she owed was graduation and the opportunity to get a gold medal. If Miao hadn't helped her yesterday, she wouldn't have won the first place. It's a way to repay a favor. And Miao is very good at dueling. Maybe she can make a lot of money after investing. Anzi's calculations are clear and loud. Yeah, interesting. Miao took Anzi's check and put it in Ryu's hand. Is it enough? Ryu looked at the number on the check and said in a strange tone, it must be enough. But why did Anzi lend you money to invest? Are you so close? So annoying. Should I tell Janouchi and the others about this? Ryu is enduring pain that she shouldn't have to endure at this age. The money is in place. Ryu soon contacted her own connections. A group of people came to the arcade to renovate and transport the old machines. Ryu thought that the new machines would arrive within 2 days with the money from the sale plus the price difference, and the game content would be implanted by herself. Regarding the content, Miao had to provide various opinions. For a while, the deserted place suddenly became lively. The next day, KC Group. Kabasito tasted coffee. He was analyzing the dual disk chip data provided by Paradis. That's right, he was going to crack and refine these technologies, and finally turn them into something for KC Group. This should have been the job of a scientific researcher, but Kabasito was so versatile and well-rounded. The more he studied, the more Kaba found that this Paradis company was indeed not simple. According to the information collected by Isano, the chairman of such a large multinational first-class group had never shown up in any formal social activities. For a time, Paradis company was a question mark in Kabasito's mind. Dong dong, there was a knock on the door. The door was pushed open. Brother the little and smart Kipi walked in with a tablet. Kipi was the only one in the company who had the right to disturb Kabasito. Kabasito showed Kipi a gentle smile. What's wrong, Kipi? Kipi handed the tablet to Kabasito. This is a video that was accidentally shot during the talent show sponsored by the company. Talent show. Kabasito looked confused. KC Group is so big, it's not surprising that it sponsors several strange projects in a year. Chapter 41 Endgame. Kabasito watched the video at 2x speed. In the video, Xiangxiang Jia with 5200 attack power attacked twice in a row with unstoppable force. The huge penetrating damage could not be stopped even with 4,000 initial health points. Interesting, there are such people among the duelists, gathered into Gino City now. The powerful duelist made Kabasito's card addiction stir. A duelist who can make a monster with an attack power exceeding 5,000 in this day and age is definitely not an unknown person. After saying that, Kabasito pointed to Yu, who was blocked by some kind of shadow mosaic in the video, and asked, "What's the matter with the shadows in the video?" These shadows made it difficult for him to see who this duelist was. It doesn't seem to be artificially processed. It may be some incomprehensible mysterious power. Kipi answered in a daze. It's annoying to hear his younger brother say something like mysterious power. Kabasito immediately looked unhappy, and he taught him a lesson. Science is the primary productive force, and the so-called mysterious power is just a field that science has not yet been able to enter. You should have less contact with Yuji and the others, which will only distort your worldview. Kihi looked timid, but he did not feel sad. Instead he reminded, "Brother, the person next to you seems to be Kyoko. Just ask her, and you will know." Kyoko did appear in the video, but Kabasito chuckled and turned off the video. Duel City is a battlefield, and we will meet sooner or later. Compared to this unknown duelist, Kabasito's eyes are now on Yuji Muto. With the power of the Phantom God in his hand, he always wants to have a revenge battle with the other party. If he cannot defeat Yuji, he will not be able to move forward to a new future. Seeing this, Kihei immediately talked about business. "Brother, this is a tip about the International Counterfeiting Organization Gurus." Gurus. Interesting. Kabasito took over. He was worried that this organization was too peaceful recently. "Now when I feel sleepy, someone brings me a pillow. It's really pleasant." 2 days later, the new machine officially entered the arcade, and Yumao also changed the name of the arcade. The City of Heavy Pit. Born in a gaming family, Ogarayuji's skills are impeccable. Yumao must admit that this guy helped him a lot. Ogarayuji looked at the brand new arcade in front of him, and his heart was filled with pride. Because he had to help here, he even took a few days off from school. "It will be open for business soon. I can help attract traffic." This guy, who had almost no role in the original work, was unexpectedly enthusiastic. "Thank you." Yumao accepted Ogarayuji's kindness. To attract people, rich prizes are naturally indispensable. Yumao used the looted devil summoning and Takeda's Lord of Oz's prizes. Since defeating Takeda, Yumao has obtained several intriguing cards from the upgraded rewards. Dual Fusion Asterisk 1, Dual Fusion Asterisk 1, Notice from the Palace Asterisk 1. The Palace series is nothing special. They are all first generation cards of the Continuous Trap series. However, the 2 cards fusion that should have shined in the GX era came to Yumao in advance. He had a sense that he would be able to use these cards soon. Yumao generously posted posters of the prizes. Demon Summoning, Lord of Oz. Ogarayuji took a deep breath. The value of Lord of Oz is beyond words. Nowadays, fusion monsters with over 4,000 attack power are absolutely in short supply. Even if we take a step back, hey, this is Demon Summoning. I remember it is a very valuable rare card. Think it through. Yuji also has a Demon Summoning. Ogarayuji has heard that the value of this card is not less than that of Red Eye's Black Dragon. This guy actually has such a valuable card? In Ogarayuji's eyes, Yumao immediately became a hidden local tyrant. Moreover, this guy is so rich, and he still needs Zing's help. Ogarayuji thought Yumao was playing hard to get. Great, really great. Why not? If they can do it, of course they can take this card away. The Lord of Oz looks powerful, but in fact he is a silver spear waxhead. The card Demon Summoning is not very useful to Yumao. Even if he uses card dust to evolve it, it is worthless. The main reason is that the theme and vest of the card Demon Summoning are too embarrassing. Compared with other first generation monster series, Demon Summoning is simply the sun picked up by K Company. It's not good. Chimera would laugh a few times when seeing it. "Please, I'll take care of this place first." Yumao suddenly had something to do, and he had to leave for a while. Since Ogarayuji was there to help with the diversion, plus the rich rare cards as an attraction, Yumao believed that this place would soon see results. This place was temporarily handed over to the other party. "Hey, are you kidding me? Yuga Ryuji looked uncomfortable. Whose store is this? Why can Yumao enter the venue calmly? After Yumao left, Yuga Ryuji had no choice but to help watch the store. He was really bored, so he turned on a machine and used a card to recharge some money and started playing this endgame duel game. Random endgame starts, endless fire. The endgame duel began. In front of the screen, Ryuji Yuji concentrated on trying it out. R side HP. 500 LP hand, premature burial, continuous magic, flame hell. On the field, stone slingers, ancient mechanical soldiers, submachine hunter, graveyard, android number 7, opposite side HP. 2100 LP hand, Nan on the field, underworld guide, graveyard, none hint, you need to win within one round. He is not a duel novice like Xingzi, on the contrary, he has a certain understanding of duels. Ryuji Yuji suddenly said in surprise, this game is quite simple. I can actually see the effects of the opponent's cards. In a real duel, there is no way to check the effects of the opponent's monsters, and you can only predict them based on your knowledge. You can't just run over, pick up the monster card on the opponent's duel board and say, let me fight you? Haha, it's too easy to win this duel. Although he had never heard of the ancient machinery field, he inexplicably felt that it was powerful. Yuji longer directly let the ancient mechanical soldiers attack. After a moment, victory and defeat are common in the military. Please don't be discouraged. Bumped in front of the screen. Yuji Longa's lips began to tremble with anger. Any level is so troublesome. No wonder Yumao is willing to take out such a precious card as a prize. I'm a gaming genius. Yuji Longa was angry, and he challenged again for the second time. Failure. Yuji Longa's eyes were red, and he shouted, Yumao, I'm going to kill you. At this moment, Yumao, the instigator, didn't know that Yuji Longa was in a state of full anger and ready to use special skills. He thought that the endgame of endless fire was a simple difficulty. In a really troublesome endgame, the despicable designer will put many cards that disrupt your thinking to interfere with you. Without a clear and correct idea, the cost of trial and error will be greatly increased. Yumao came to the mysterious alley, and he saw the guide of gurus appear. You are here. The other party took off his black hood, revealing a face engraved with ancient Egyptian characters. This person is Lishid. Lishid was very cold to Yumao. Let's go. The headquarters meeting of gurus is about to begin. Lord Malik personally ordered Lishid to take Yumao, which shows that this is very important. Yumao is looking forward to this so-called headquarters meeting. The big and small gurus hunters in the city should all show up. Pandora or that Jack should be there, right? 0. Thanks to the book friend Grito for the reward and support. 0. Thanks to book friends 201904161057500724. Lord of the Suffering, God Audio, FNDBTB. This account has been DEACTIVATED-. Wake up and go to sleep. 202009211248022357. If it is standardized, 202303212317311042. 2017081221541886 for their monthly ticket support. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 40 To the Approaching Hunt. Underground Palace. This is the name given by Malik. As the name suggests, this is a maze city secretly hidden under Tangxi City. The scope is beyond Yumao's imagination. Before Tangxi City was established, this place was built by a mysterious rich man at a high price. Lord Malik saw that this place is very good, and it happened that he was going to come to this city in advance, so you Egyptian tycoons bought it, right? Yumao's fists were hardened. Exclamation mark. He knew that the gravekeeping family was a big dog family, equivalent to those Saudi tycoons in the previous life, but Yumao didn't expect it to be so exaggerated. Do you? The gravekeeping family accept outsiders? Yumao thinks ISIS is very good. Don't get me wrong, He just thinks ISIS is really good. Luciad thinks Miao is thinking something bad, but unfortunately he has no evidence. The two entered the underground palace from a mysterious entrance and walked along the winding stairs for a few minutes. Miao saw a group of gays and leopard girls guarding outside. "What are you doing here?" "Well, Chief Malik, let me take this group of people to stand guard outside." The headquarters meeting was held, and Leopard Girl, as a leader, led this group of gays to act as bodyguards outside. It was a bit like being despised. Oh, Miao remembered. When Malik was controlling Keith, he was almost insulted by the ultimate. After that, he did not find Leopard Girl and her group to settle accounts later. It was already for Miao's face, and he completely turned the page. Farewell to the miserable Leopard Girl. Luciad took Miao into the inner hall. Miao looked over and saw that many hunters wearing the uniform of Gillis gathered in this place. Wow. I didn't notice it in the original book, but there are so many Gillis hunters. These Gillis hunters rarely get together privately. Once they get together, they must brag. For example, they robbed someone's rare card, and when they have no money to eat, they go to steal electric cars. They are all talents and speak very nicely. But Miao doesn't like it here. Because this group of people are too low class, they only took one card when they robbed someone else. Do they deserve the title of Guru's Hunter? When Luciad stepped into this place, this group of people who were originally bragging immediately became nervous. Everyone knows that Malik trusts Luciad the most, and the other party is the second in command of gurus. That man is Miao? He is the one who killed our leader. I heard that he has 3 heads and 6 arms, but I didn't expect him to be exactly the same as us normal people. Same as you. Don't flatter yourself. He is much better looking than you. Suddenly, the atmosphere that should have been silent because of Luciad became noisy again. The center of discussion of this group of people is all on Miao. Not only this group of street-beating gurus hunters, but some people with high status in the organization also set their sights on Miao. Light and Dark Mask. Light Mask, why do you think this guy is at the same level as us? And he also has privileges that we don't have? The guy wearing half a mask said sourly. Dark Mask, why are you saying these big truths? The masked brothers obviously don't trust Miao's strength. As for the rumor that the other party defeated several stronghold lords alone, you would rather believe this nonsense rumor than believe that their light and dark masks can kill Muto Yuji. Miao didn't care about the jealousy of the light and dark masks and didn't even look at them. Because this pair of high-level experience packs is far less attractive to him than someone. That's Pandora. That's right. Pandora, the magician user, was also at the headquarters meeting today. Jack didn't find it, but he found a wild Pandora. The Red Daddy in Miao's warehouse was ready to move. Being ignored was simply an insult. The Light and Dark brothers were unhappy and wanted to teach Miao a lesson on this important occasion. Stinky boy. We, the Light and Dark brothers, are here. Don't you know how to say hello to the seniors? Miao didn't want to pay attention to the two guys, but because of the provocation, a side quest popped up. Side quest, Mask Rebellion. Details. In an important gathering of gurus, Light and Dark masks have invited you to a duel. They want to prove to all gurus hunters that you are just a duel cheater who has deceived the world and stolen the name. Goal, win reward, rare powerful trap card asterisk 1 penalty, loser and a mer trap card asterisk 1 gain. After winning the duel, the trigger effect of Duel Road is strengthened, and the number of original exclusive character card packs dropped increases. Rare powerful trap card? How powerful is it? G. When? Blind. Win or lose? Transaction rollback? Or is it a skill extraction that is not human? Miao's target was originally Pandora, but now that Light and Dark masks have done this, he has become interested in this powerful trap card. Let's see how powerful your trap card is. Miao looked at Light and Dark masks and asked, everyone dislikes each other, so let's use a duel to talk. The two brothers of Light and Dark masks each looked at each other and then showed a malicious smile. Is Miao trying to fight 2-on-1? Hahaha, big idiot. Even Yuji Muto wouldn't dare to face the two brothers alone. When the duel was about to begin, let me join this duel. Malik suddenly appeared from the other side, with Luciad following him. Mama. Lord Malik? When the two brothers, Light and Dark Mask, saw each other, they immediately turned from arrogant and energetic young men into stuttering men. Light and Dark Mask was scared. Malik has come out of the shadow of Xiaobio's heavy pit in the past 2 days, and he was just thinking of using a card game to wash away his bad luck. The sunny boy applied to play. My stomach suddenly hurts. My pie hurts so much. Light and Dark Mask announced that he was scared. Who dares to play cards with Malik? Isn't this brain dead? Seeing that the familiar duck was about to fly away, Miao immediately made a note of Malik in his little notebook. On a certain day of a certain year, Malik, the street kid, caused me to lose a rare and powerful trap card. He also has a way to die. Master Malik, why don't I and Miao team up to fight the Mask of Light and Darkness? The bald man from the underworld, Lishide, suddenly spoke. The fastest way to understand a person is to duel. Lishide planned to duel with Miao. Malik nodded under Lishide's expectant eyes. Then you and Miao will team up to fight the Mask of Light and Darkness. That night, several helicopters appeared in the dark night sky, each with a KC symbol engraved on the fuselage. This place has been surrounded by the armed forces of the KC group. In a helicopter that looks like the Blue Eyes White Dragon, the door was suddenly pulled open. Brother, stop it. Keeping, a true duelist must not be bound by common sense. Keeping's words could not control Kabasito's actions, and his slender figure jumped directly down. Brother, you haven't tied your parachute yet. This is the most difficult part for Keeping. However, under Keeper's incredulous gaze, Kabasito successfully landed on the ground with his physical strength alone. Brother, is this the science you always talk about? When Kaba successfully landed on the ground, several mercenaries with parachutes tied seemed to have received instructions. They began to land with the most sophisticated tranquilizer rifles in their hands. Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night. Chapter 43. Are you still a human being? In the combination duel monster phase, it is normal for both players to substitute after the end. With Malik's permission, this double duel officially began. All the Guru's hunters surrounded this place. After all, the doubles of the Light and Dark Mask and the organization are well known. Draw a card, I cover 3 cards, and end the turn. The Dark Mask's operation is very fast, and there is no need to think carefully at all. This is the confidence gained from long-term cooperation in doubles. Lishid and Miao are both players who are good at singles, and their cooperation is far inferior to the two brothers. After all, the two brothers are people of the same mind who encourage each other. It's my turn. Draw a card. Miao drew a card. He took a look at the card in his hand and quickly operated. Activate the curtain of black magic. Pay 1000 life points and special summon a dark attribute magician monster from the hand card. Miao. 4000 LP 3000 LP. Come out. Black magic girl. The pink and purple magic circle lit up, and the black magic girl who had just finished her makeup appeared. Black magician girl. 2000 attack power. Magician. Hiss. It's actually black magician girl. This is a super rare monster card. Rumor has it that this card only exists in Yuji Muto's hands. From this quality, it doesn't look like a fake card at all. After hearing this, the discerning hunter gurus began to show greed in his eyes. Among them, Pandora, the magician user, was the worst. He thought he was the best among magicians. Although he had a super rare monster card like Black Magician, he didn't have Black Magician Girl. Pandora, a fake card of Black Magician Girl, he didn't like it. Cover 1 card, end the turn. Miao's operation was also very fast. Storytelling is relative. Either a turn is very long, or it can be passed by summoning. HMPH, my turn. Draw a card. It was Light Mask's turn. He showed a sinister smile and shouted, normal summon, Divine Valkyrie. Ding Divine Valkyrie, 1880k, Angel type, not yet finished. I'm going to activate the equip spell card, Sword of Dracula. Sword of Dracula, Angel type monsters can equip this card. Equipped monsters increase their 80k by 500 points. When they deal combat damage to the enemy, they recover the same amount of basic points as the damage. Divine Valkyrie. 18,002,380k, a strategy of relying on monsters that increase their attack with equipping cards. Lishid began to analyze the opponent's tactics. Light Mask gave Dark Mask a look, and the opponent immediately received a response. Hahaha, I'm going to activate a trap card at this time. Sacrificial Sealed Mask. As long as this continuous trap card exists on the field, the card cannot be released under any circumstances. UGIO. DM's main superior summon. This sacrificial sealed mask undoubtedly hits the right spot. Thanks, brother. Light Mask smiled. Sealing superior summons, and various release behaviors. The 2300 attack power of the Divine Valkyrie can be said to be the best among the crowd. Lishid looked calm. His deck was almost all trap cards. This tactic was very common for him. Finally, cover 3 cards and end the turn. Light Mask used up only 1 card in one breath, and ended his turn. It was Lishid's turn. This guy really gave Miao a lot of experience. I saw this bold guy from the underworld directly. .5 cover! Exclamation mark. I'm done like this. After Lishid covered 5, he ended happily. The Light and Dark Masks looked uneasy. They seemed to have discovered that the powerful sticker masked sacrifice seal was useless to Lord Lishid. Draw a card. Dark Mask drew a card, and he aimed his eyes at Miao and said, activate the equip magic card, Mask of Cursed Souls. Ding, a twisted mask appeared, and covered the face of the black magic girl with a whoosh. Fuck. The black magic girl cursed, and struggled to break free, but it was useless. The equipped monster cannot attack. Dark Mask said triumphantly. This was obviously a monster to restrict Miao. When the card Masked Sacrifice Seal existed, Miao could not liberate the black magic girl. Another important thing was that when equipped with Masked Sacrifice Souls, Miao would suffer a certain amount of life loss every turn. I cover 1 more card and end the turn. Dark Mask said happily. Back to Miao's turn again. He counted how many covered cards there were on the field. Wow, there were more than a dozen covered cards. Is this the charm of the doubles brawl? Once a few underworld masters are mixed into the duel will be despairing. Speaking of which, in addition to Lishid, who is undoubtedly a underworld master, Light and Dark Mask is also a hidden underworld man. It turns out that I'm surrounded by 3 underworld men. Miao realized this terrible fact, so he activated the covered card without hesitation. You bunch of underworld men, I will smash you into scum. Eat my continuous trap card. The Palace's notice. Ding, Miao's only covered card was opened, and it was the Palace series that made all the red pits shake their heads. The Palace's notice. As long as this card exists on the field, the effects of all trap cards on the field, except this card, are invalidated. Dong 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 aching appeared, and he announced a solemn matter in an incomprehensible way. Although he didn't understand, Miao roughly guessed what it meant. From now on, trap cards cannot be used. This notice from the palace made Lishid look disgusted. All trap card effects are invalidated. Almost 98% of Lishid's entire deck are trap cards. Does that mean he doesn't have to play this duel? Miao, what are you doing? I'm your teammate. Lishid's face was ruddy, and it was obvious that the kid was very angry. Miao, you even persecuted your teammates. Are you still a human being? In response to Lishid's question, Miao looked up at the ceiling and said without apology, sorry, I don't have any teammates. Teammates will only slow down his attack speed. The best way is to kill teammates as well. The expressions of the Light and Dark Masks were equally uncomfortable. All the attack pits they covered on the field were useless, including the invincible sacrifice seal mask. It's okay, the black magician girl is sealed and can't attack. Yes, the Divine Valkyrie on my field has a higher attack power. The 2 masked brothers began to comfort themselves. They didn't think Miao could do anything this round. Is that really the case? Knock knock. Miao's words made everyone focus on him. Malik couldn't help but wonder what Miao was going to do. Normal summon, Bull Swordsman. Miao slapped the monster card in his hand without hesitation. Ding, Bull Swordsman. 1600 attack power. Warrior. The Bull Swordsman appeared with a silver sword in his hand. It was ecstatic, and it was finally its turn to appear. However, before the Bull Swordsman was happy for a few seconds, Miao immediately released this serious bull on the spot. Chapter 44. Hitting my teammates. The Bull Swordsman found himself being released, and a bull's doubt appeared on his face. It turned out that he was not the protagonist. Exclamation mark. How this card cannot be normal summoned. You can special summon it only when you release a warrior type monster on your field. Miao raised the glowing monster card in his hand. A silver light fell. Bang. The whole sky was illuminated as if it were daytime. Gwa, is this the smell of a rare card? It must be a super precious rare card. The surrounding guru's hunters stared at the monster that was about to enter the field. The sharp sword energy passed by, and a swordsman wearing silver armor appeared in a silent posture. True silent swordsman, 1000 attack power, warrior type. Damn, only 1000 attack power. I was almost scared by you. Light Mask said, while covering his chest. However, Miao made a bold move. In the eyes of all Guru's hunters, including Malik, Miao actually entered the battle stage. Impossible, the black magician girl is sealed and cannot attack. This silent swordsman only has 1000 attack power, but he actually chooses to attack? Miao ignored the voices around him. He did not hesitate to let the real silent swordsman commit suicide, and crashed into the divine Valkyrie with 2300 attack power with 1000 attack power. Boom, the real silent swordsman with 1000 attack power was killed. At the same time, the difference in combat damage allowed the health of the Light Mask to recover. Light Mask. 40,005,300 LP, Miao. 30,001,700 LP, Madman, what on earth do you want to do? Light Mask was shocked by Miao's operation. Only Malik said nothing. He remembered that the silent swordsman field had a very powerful power. Could it be that it was as expected? When the real silent swordsman was fought, the inevitable miracle appeared. This can only be activated when the true silent swordsman on the field is destroyed by battle or card effects. I special summon one silent swordsman monster other than true silent swordsman from my hand or deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. Click. Miao skillfully pulled out the entire deck, spread out several cards with one hand, and then drew one of them. I want to ignore the summoning conditions and special summon the top level silent swordsman monster. Silent swordsman LV7. Ding, the real silent swordsman was born. Silent swordsman LV7, 2800 attack power, warrior type. Is this the effect? 2800 attack power. What a powerful monster. It is indeed a very rare card. When Silent Swordsman LV7 appeared, the Gillis hunters present were jealous. Silent Swordsman LV7 is the top level warrior, naturally has a powerful effect, as long as this card is on the field, all magic cards are invalidated. Exclamation mark. Accompanied by Miao's voice falling. Zzzz, bang, the black magic girl tore off the mask on her face and threw it on the ground. She stomped on the broken mask in anger. The equipment magic card Mask of Cursed Soul lost its effect. Damn it, this kind of thing actually happened. Dark Mask had a look of artillery on his face. Not only could the trap cards not be used, but even the magic cards had lost their effects. Is this still a duel? Light and Dark Mask had never encountered such a duel, where he was restrained. Miao smiled, welcoming the opponent to open the real door to UGIO. Not allowing the opponent to deploy, not allowing the opponent to use magic traps or monster effects, not allowing the opponent to summon. This is the true meaning of UGIO. Whoever can prevent the opponent from playing UGIO, then victory is in the hands of this person. Otherwise, why would stickers such as the Royal Edict, the Royal Suppression, and the Void Space be allowed in? Because they are not human. Listed was shivering with anger. Miao had already prevented him from using trap cards. Although he was stuck in the field, what if Light and Dark Mask drew a card like Gale? Then Lissid could move. Unexpectedly, this only hope was directly cut off by Miao's Silent Swordsman LV7. If looks could kill, Lissid would definitely be able to eat Miao. The combination of Silent Swordsman LV7 and Royal Announcement is the best choice. My battle phase is not over yet. Let me see who I want to kill first. Miao's words, like the words of a devil, made Dark Mask tremble. Because Dark Mask has no monster cards on the field. Originally, Mask of the Cursed Soul could limit the attack of the Black Magic Girl, but under the restriction of Silent Swordsman LV7, this card lost its effect. So Miao has a total of 4700 combat damage on the field, which can definitely kill anyone in the first time. Light Mask, you have to save me. Dark Mask asked his best brother for help. If Miao chose to attack him, then Dark Mask would definitely lose. Losing in front of Lord Milik is worse than death. Light Mask's eyes flickered with helplessness. In their doubles rules, he could actually give his monsters to his partner to resist. But what should he do if the Valkyrie was given to Dark Mask? Light Mask, you have 5300 health points, he can't kill you with one blow. Dark Mask was saying it like crazy. While the two brothers were madly comparing favors, Miao did something unexpected. Silent Swordsman LV7 and Black Magic Girl attack Lushid directly! Exclamation mark. Lushid, Malik, Light and Dark Mask, Gurus HUNTER*N. My goodness, Lushid had his health emptied by Silent Swordsman LV7 and Black Magic Girl with an unbelievable look on his face. The first person to be eliminated was Lushid. Light and Dark Mask was stunned. The doubles rules they specified did allow attacking teammates, but under normal circumstances, no one should do this. It turned out that there were doubles duelists who really beat my teammates. Light and Dark Mask has been playing doubles for so long, and today is the first time I have learned something new. Are you crazy? Why did you attack me? Exclamation mark. Lushid was very uncomfortable. Miao's palace notice made it impossible for him to duel, and his so-called teammate killed him in the blink of an eye. In Egypt, Lushid had never experienced such a sinister human heart. I've been unhappy with you for a long time. You've been showing me a bad face from the beginning, and secretly peeping at me with dark eyes? Isn't it just limiting your trap cards? You look unwilling. Instead of keeping you, a time bomb, by my side, I'd rather kill you first. Miao doesn't need Lushid as a teammate. He can fight two at a time. Miao, you are too shameless. Lushid blushed and said only these few words. After all, Lushid has not received training from the old guys in the forum, and his ability to scold people is obviously not up to standard. Malik secretly wiped the sweat from his forehead and confirmed one thing in his heart. Miao is a very narrow-minded guy. Don't be a teammate with him to play cards. Lushid is an example now. End the battle phase and enter the main second phase. Miao covered the quick attack magic card Silent Sword in his hand. Silent Swordsman LV7 invalidates all magic cards on the field, but the activation of the Silent Sword will not be invalidated, so this card can cooperate with LV7. Even if the God card is here, relying on the cooperation of the Silent Sword and LV7. God must die. Chapter 45. This is not a duel. The Light and Dark Masks were caught in a dilemma. Trap cards were disabled, and all the cards they covered were invalidated. Magic cards were also disabled, which meant that our wind cards were invalidated. If they wanted to defeat the Silent Swordsman LV7 with 2800 attack power, they needed their trump card monster, Mask Monster, Ghost Monk. The prerequisite was to summon it with the magic card Mask Monster ritual. Otherwise, nothing could be done. Good brother, this seems to be a dead end. Yes, it seems that this Silent Swordsman LV7 must be dealt with. Although Lushid was eliminated by Miao, the situation of the two masked brothers did not change at all. Unfavorable, extremely unfavorable! Exclamation mark. The Light Mask wiped the sweat off his face, and he drew a card from the deck with force. My turn. Draw a card. The masked brothers were in crisis, and in desperation, they triggered the God Draw. Miao looked at the pop-up prompt, indicating that there was no ripple in his heart. He had to get used to the people here calling a wave at any time, and then he would come to the God Draw to calm down the shock, when he was generous and righteous. As a duelist, it's not too much to draw a few cards, right? Hahaha, I didn't expect to draw this card under such circumstances. Hikari Kamen raised the monster card in his hand, and sacrificed the only Valkyrie on the field. Advanced summoning. Kakaka. Several white bone skulls collided with each other, and combined into a hideous and ugly centipede shape. Dragon Bone Ghost, 2400 attack power, undead, so it's this monster. Miao's eyes flickered. He remembered that this Dragon Bone Ghost had the effect of forced destruction, that restrained magician and warrior monsters. According to Miao's experience, the effects of the monster cards in the anime version are more or less different from the real cards. This Dragon Bone Ghost should be no exception. When the Dragon Bone Ghost chooses your monster as the target of attack, and it is a magician or warrior, that monster will be destroyed directly. Hahaha, even if the Silent Swordsman has a higher attack power, it is powerless in front of the Dragon Bone Ghost. because it is a warrior monster quote asterisk. To the two masked brothers were ecstatic. The palace announced that Miao could not use trap cards to seal him, so this attack would definitely succeed. Silent Swordsman LV7 would definitely be declared defeated. The masked brothers were about to counterattack successfully. Lishid clenched his fists and kept cheering for the brothers in his heart. Well done, you did a great job. Defeat and humiliate Miao severely. Malik stared at the mysterious cover card of Miao. In theory, magic and traps were disabled, so this card would definitely have no effect. But he remembered one thing. On the night of the coastal warehouse, Miao used a quick attack magic card Silent Sword. The power of that card is extraordinary. Malik has been thinking about it until now, but he has not found a way to crack this card. The activation will not be invalidated, and the effect will not be invalidated. Isn't this invincible? Oh, so boring. Miao sighed. As expected, from the moment the Silent Sword was covered, there was no suspense in this duel. Open the covered quick attack magic card, the Silent Sword. Ding, the magic card that released powerful power was opened. All the duelists present, except Malik, could not understand. Silent Swordsman LV7 restricted magic cards indiscriminately, but Miao activated the magic card. Sorry, the activation and effect of the Silent Sword will not be invalidated, so in the environment where the magic trap is double sealed, I have privileges. As soon as the voice fell, the Silent Swordsman LV7 released a strong sword energy, and the silver longsword in his hand slowly expanded into a giant sword. The attack power sword. Silent Swordsman LV7. 28,004,300 attack power, 4,300 attack power. The two brothers of Light and Dark Mask shouted in unison. This attack power, this is going to go to the sky. Blue Eyes White Dragon is only 3,000. You actually surpassed the White Dragon by 1,300 points. Question mark? Oh, I forgot to mention that the Sword of Silence makes my monsters unaffected by any effects this turn. So the Dragon Bone Ghost's race destroying effect is invalid. Light Mask, stop attacking quickly. No, I can't stop at all. At this moment, the Dragon Bone Ghost's attack can no longer be stopped. Just like that, the two monsters fought. Boom, bones scattered. The Dragon Bone Ghost was cut in half. Light Mask shouted, Light Mask. 4000 LP, 2100 LP. Good brother, I failed. The task of conquering this monster can only be left to you. Light Mask ended his turn in humiliation. Dark Mask's turn. But his face was covered with sweat. With the magic trap disabled, he couldn't think of how to deal with a 4300 monster. Draw a card. Dark Mask drew a card in extreme fear. Miao looked at the panicked expression on Dark Mask's face, and he knew there was no suspense. Even drawing a card is so weak, and he still wants to draw a card? Dream on. Dark Mask looked at the lightning strike he drew, and his lips trembled slightly. Under normal circumstances, Dark Mask would be so happy that he would smile crookedly if he drew a lightning strike. Unfortunately, in this case, lightning strike is no different from a useless card. I'm ending my turn. Dark Mask shouted with a red face. He can't do it. He can't do it. Magic trap can't be used, and there are no low-level monsters in his hand. Damn, what else can he do except ending his turn? Plop. From the moment his good brother ended his turn, Light Mask knelt on the ground, his face full of pain. No, this is not a duel. The other Gillis hunters couldn't watch it anymore. It was too miserable. Is this kind of duel really still a duel? Is this the consequence of going against Miao? Suddenly, these Gillis hunters, including the restless Pandora, had the idea of refusing to play cards with Miao. They no longer have worldly desires. The periphery of the underground palace. I'll have the Amazon swordswoman launch a suicide attack on your Blue Eyes White Dragon. Knock, knock. Open the covered trap card. Enlarge. Enlarge. This can only be activated by targeting one monster on the opponent's field. The monster's attack and defense are doubled, and it cannot attack directly. With the help of Enlarge, the Blue Eyes White Dragon's attack power increased from 3000 to 6000 points. Oh, so that's how it is. You want to make me lose this duel by relying on huge rebound damage. What an interesting idea. Your strength is not bad. But this tactic is too stupid for me. Kabasito swung his slender arms vigorously. and the trap card covering his field was uncovered. Subspace matter transmission device! Exclamation mark. Activate with a monster on your field as a target, and excluded until the end of the turn. Swoosh. The twisted power immediately involved the blue eyes white dragon. Since you have lost your target, your monster's attack is invalid, and you can't roll back the attack. Kaba laughed up to the sky. Usually this situation belongs to the loss of the target during the injury judgment phase, resulting in the inability to attack, or roll back the attack. In the real card environment, unless the card ruling says that it can be activated during the injury judgment phase, under normal circumstances, only the magic trap related to the attack power can be activated. But this is UGIO. DM is a vague time point, a paradise for nonsense. So subspace material transmission device is too powerful. 0. Thank you book friends for your collection and recommendation votes. 0. Thank you book friends Chia and Sisheng, Siski, 20207118454339 2023041917232482321278 Great Godming Wang and Passaby for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 46. Are you also a guru's hunter? The turn ends. Blue Eyes White Dragon returns from the alternate dimension. Its attack power changes back from 6000 to 3000 points. This turn will decide the outcome. Kabasito twists his waist and draws a card from the deck. A magic card immediately appears in front of Leopard Girl. Enemy remote control. A bat, up, down, left. Kabasito summons this remote control and starts inputting weird attack commands. The enemy remote control in the anime only requires 1000 LP to gain control of the selected monster before the end of the turn. The enemy remote control in the real card requires the liberation of monster on the field as a prerequisite for activation. Kabasito. 4000 LP 3000 LP. Click. Click. Several control lines are tied to the Amazon warrior, and then she is forcibly transferred to Kabasito's field. HMPH. In this case, you won't have any shield on the field. It's your honor to lose to the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Take it. Destruction Gale Explosion Bomb. Zzzz. A huge silver ball of light condensed, and the Blue Eyes White Dragon sprayed it directly towards the Leopard Girl. Boom! Exclamation mark. The huge energy overwhelmed the Leopard Girl. The Leopard Girl was blown away by this force, and her health value also became 0. The exhausted Leopard Girl closed her eyelids and lost consciousness. Kabasito had no interest in the loser. He continued to explore the inside. Tonight, every guru's hunter in this place could not escape. At the same time, on the other side, the two people of Light and Dark Mask declared defeat. Under Yumao's inhuman suppression tactics, the two of them were simply unable to resist. This blockade duel made the Light and Dark Mask deeply frightened and left a lot of shadows. Master Malik, I request a duel with Yumao. Lishid was angry, and he planned to challenge Yumao in a one-on-one duel. This is not the time. Malik comforted Lishid. He actually called this meeting to announce something important. One duel is enough to liven up the atmosphere. There is no need for a second one, otherwise it will be the Duel City Underground chapter that starts in advance. This is really weird. And there is another important reason. Stop it, Lishid. There are Yumao everywhere outside. A palace notice can crush you to death. How can you fight? In front of the palace notice, the underworld is no longer the underworld. Recently, someone has been secretly targeting gurus. Malik is not referring to the official forces, KC, International Illusion Society, but a force of unknown origin. He really doesn't care about these gurus hunters under his command, but Malik will not allow a group of rats hiding in the sewers to bully gurus. Unfortunately, this meeting is destined to fail. Because bang bang bang, the outer door was broken open, and a group of well-equipped mercenaries rushed in with tranquilizer guns. The guru's hunters were numb on the spot. Can they be found, even if they are hiding underground? Oops, it seems that the KC group has sent people to encircle us, Lishid said with a pale face. Hearing this, the Gibbous hunters were in chaos. No matter what, let's escape first. Malik's expression was not good. The KC group's intelligence gathering ability was too strong. They could actually find this place. Boom! A hidden exit appeared in the passage behind Malik. Going out of this exit, you can leave the underground palace smoothly. At this time, we need a strong person to cover the rear. Malik quickly judged the situation. Lishid wanted to volunteer to stay, but Malik looked up at Pandora. In his mind, Lishid was a family member, not an ordinary subordinate. But Pandora and others were different. They could be used as cannon fodder at any time. Pandora was honest. He definitely didn't want to stay here to cover the rear, but Lord Malik's words were heaven. This is the power of love. Under the leadership of Malik, the people of the Gillis organization quickly evacuated. When they were about to reach the exit, Malik found that Miao, who had always been by his side, was gone. Miao went back. Why? Lishid couldn't understand. Until a bold idea came up. Did Miao go back to help cover the rear? Pandora is very powerful, but it can't fight so many people. Only this reason can explain why Miao turned back. Lishid blushed immediately, and the shame in his heart soared. It turned out that Miao's loyalty was not a problem. The reason why he targeted him just now was indeed because he gave him a cold look at the other party at the beginning. Worried about the safety of the members in the organization, Miao, you are really an excellent and qualified mainstay. Far more reliable than the light and dark masks. Malik didn't think as much as Lishid. He just remembered one thing. Leopard Girl and Miao seemed to have a close relationship, and this woman was arranged by him as a bodyguard on the periphery. Since the official power can break through this level, it means that Leopard Girl and her people are dead. I see. Miao, are you going back to save Leopard Girl? Malik thought he had seen through the truth. In his eyes, Miao was indeed a partner he could rely on. If he was in danger one day, Miao would definitely come back to save him. In fact, Miao did rush back. Malik, this idiot, actually let Pandora cover the retreat. It's not that Miao looked down on Pandora, but the person chasing this time might be the KC group. So the hot man must be here. Pandora is definitely going to die against Kabasito. Miao's black magician is still on Pandora, and old Pan can't die yet. Yes, Miao didn't save people, but went to save Cab. There was also a small reason that Malik didn't seem to want to care about Leopard Girl. When Miao rushed back, Pandora was already lying on the ground unconscious. It's so fast, Miao said helplessly. Opposite Pandora, a slender figure stood quietly, his hands folded across his chest, his expression read indifferent and invincible. Kabasito, a man who refuses metaphysics in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh. There are countless legends about him. The humanoid star platinum, the law of the universe, that must lose the game, the twisted card addiction. All kinds of labels can be found on Kabasito. For safety reasons, when Miao came back, he took a mask from other Gillis hunters and put it on his face. Big hooded black clothes plus mask. Miao didn't want Kabasito to find out his true identity and appearance, because it would be super troublesome. Kabasito chuckled, with 7 parts of sarcasm and 3 parts of confidence. Humph, a guy who hides his head and shows his tail. You obviously escaped, but you want to come back to die. You, a Gillis hunter, are surprising. Yes, this is very Sito. Miao looked at Pandora lying on the ground. On his duel disc, the deck of cards fell to the ground. Only the black magician was missing. Hehe, ha 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 ha. Are you looking for this card? Kabasito showed a card in his hand, which was the 7-star blank black magician. Good guy. Kabasito, are you actually a Gillis hunter too? Kabasito was completely disdainful of this alternate version of Pandora, the black magician. All he had was a burst of annoyance from the bottom of his heart. Chapter 47 White Marriage. Black Magician. About this card, Kabasito's first thought was what a hot man, Yuji Muto. He had to admit one thing, this annoying black magician has become a symbol of the game. This masked clown is not strong enough for this card. Kabasito said this lightly. This is also one of the reasons for his inner anger. Since you have a black magician, why don't you have the level of that guy? Sure enough, a fake is a fake after all. There is only one Yuji Muto, and the same is true for the black magician. With a dangerous look in his eyes, Kabasito actually pretended to tear off Pandora's different version of the black magician. This is to replicate the operation of tearing off the white bride. Wait a minute, this black magician is mine. Miao raised his palm, indicating that tearing the card cannot be allowed. Hearing this, Pandora's fingers on the ground suddenly moved. "Ha, do you think I will believe your nonsense?" Kabasito looked at the disguised Miao. His expression was obviously disdainful. This ridiculous third-rate lie can only deceive those yellow-haired mortals. But Kabasito also stopped his actions. Strike mission. Face Kabasito. Details. A powerful enemy is coming, and you have attracted the attention of the powerful enemy. Objective. Have an unreserved duel. Time. None. Reward. Open a random Dragon Clan themed card pack in the mall. I hope the crystals in your pack are ready. Penalty? Duel. Let me see if this card is yours. Kabasito reopened the duel disc that was still warm. Miao didn't say anything, but his actions have proved everything. Duel asterisk 2 exclamation point exclamation mark. Kaba. 4000 LP Miao. 4000 LP draw a card. Miao took the initiative and showed Javier in his hand. If there are no monsters on your field, this card does not need to be sacrificed to summon. Ding, the Magic Knight Javier appeared, and naturally accompanied by the best partner, the Cursed Dragon of the Fire Prison. Javier and the Cursed Dragon are a good pair, and they immediately fused on the spot. What? No need for fusion card. Kaba was surprised. It was also the first time he saw this kind of fusion. How the power of distortion appears. A brand new monster appears in defense mode. Dragon Mage Knight, Javier. This monster card. Kaba looked at this Dragon Mage Javier with a thoughtful expression. Cover a card and end the turn. Miao handed the turn to the opponent. HMPH. This duel is over. Kaba drew a card from the deck with force, and he summoned the monster to the field. Kabaman. 200 attack power. Warrior. In this wave, Kaba summoned himself. I want to release Kabaman and special summon a blue eyes white dragon from my hand. Kaba shouted. As we all know, with the bond between White Dragon and Kaba, it is normal to start with White Dragon. It is not a dream to start with a high star. Kabaman was ruthlessly released, and a silver beam of light fell behind Kabasito. Boom, there was a loud noise. A pair of huge wings spread out, and the legendary silver-white figure appeared with an appearance of inestimable destructive power. Bajaya. Blue Eyes White Dragon. 3000 attack power. Dragon Clan. This is my Blue Eyes White Dragon. Ha 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 ha. With the birth of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, Kabasito was extremely excited. Roar. Bajaya ordered Miao and the Magic Dragon Knight. A breath of air accompanied by an evil wind blew in his face. Strong, too strong. So Miao activated the effect of the Magic Dragon Knight Javier without hesitation. During the main phase, reduce Javier's attack power by 2600 and destroy it with a card on your field. The object that Miao wanted to destroy was naturally the Blue Eyes White Dragon with immeasurable destructive power. What? Kaba's eyes flickered. He didn't expect this Javier to have such an effect. It could actually interfere with the opponent's turn. I seem to have underestimated you. But the power of Blue Eyes is beyond your imagination. I activate the quick attack magic card in my hand. Silver Dragon's Roar. After the White Dragon was blown up by Javier, Kaba activated the alternative plan without hesitation. Silver Dragon's Roar. This card can only be activated by targeting one dragon type normal monster in your graveyard. Special summon that dragon type normal monster. Boom, the roar of the Blue Eyes White Dragon came from the graveyard. At the same time, he revived on the field with the help of this power. Blue Eyes White Dragon. 3080k. Dragon type. You should realize that the power of Blue Eyes is unstoppable and go straight into battle. Windburst Bomb. The huge energy overwhelmed Dragon Magic Knight Javier. This terrible impact made the surroundings shake. Since Javier was in defense position, Miao did not have to bear battle damage. Set to cards and end the turn. Kaba crossed his arms across his chest. He looked at Miao with a proud expression and expected the opponent to struggle. Unfortunately, under the power of Blue Eyes White Dragon, any struggle would be ridiculous. Miao's expression was very calm. He was just a white dragon. My turn. Draw a card. Normal summon. Magic Warrior Destroyer. Magic Warrior Destroyer. 1980k. Magician type. Remove a counter and destroy a magic trap on your field. Miao pointed at one of the backfield cards covered by Kaba and said, make that card disappear. Magic Warrior Destroyer. 19,001,680k. Boom, Kaba's backfield was destroyed. This is a continuous trap card. Dark Curse. Dark Curse. Activate by targeting a face-up monster on the opponent's field. That monster's ATK decreases by 700, and it cannot attack or change its form. It's really dangerous. It turns out that this kind of trap is covered. Miao said with a look of relief. Humph. Despicable acting. Kaba refuted this sentence because he felt that the opponent didn't care about this trap card. No matter what, the attack power of Magic Warrior Destroyer can never exceed that of Blue Eyes White Dragon. However, the next second, Miao directly released the Magic Warrior. Come out, my most loyal sister. True Silent Magician. The paralyzed female magician appears. True Silent Magician. 1000 attack power. Magician type. Sacrifice a monster to special summon a small fish with lower attack power. Kaba couldn't understand. The Silent Magician is called a small fish, which makes me very troubled. Miao immediately explained loudly. The attack power of this card increases by the number of cards in your hand x 500. Miao raised 2 cards in his hand, so the True Silent Magician increased the attack power by 1000. True Silent Magician. 10,002,000 attack power. So what? A mere 2000 attack power is not enough to reach the toes of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Kaba still didn't think highly of the magician on the opposite side. It will be enough soon. First, I will enter the battle phase. Miao did not hesitate to let the True Silent Magician launch a suicide attack on the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Kaba looked surprised. Suicide attack? No, something is wrong. The duelist's intuition told Kaba one thing. This attack. There is a conspiracy, and it cannot be allowed to pass. Don't even think about it. Open the covered card. Kaba trusted the duelist's intuition, and he activated the covered card on the field. Chapter 48. You did a good job. President Kaba, who believed in his instinct, opened the second card. Quick attack magic card. Command Silencer. This is a card for the dueler itself. Command Silencer can directly erase the duelist's attack command and draw a card from the deck. Such a good card, of course, only exists in anime. The timing of this duel is wrong. Otherwise Miao's eyes must reveal greedy intentions. As long as you are brave, the teacher, you will lose the attack command, and the attack of the True Silent Magician will stop. Kaba's voice lingered around. The mercenaries watching the battle behind immediately threw away their pistols and applauded their boss crazily. The pattern of this group of mercenaries has obviously opened up. However, the next second, Kaba immediately found something wrong. Because the Command Silencer, a very useful quick attack magic card, collapsed by itself. What happened? Kaba looked confused. Haha, the True Silent Magician is one of the top magicians, and the magic card you activated has no effect on her. The True Silent Magician can choose to invalidate the activation of magic card once per turn. So that's how it is. It actually has such a tricky effect. The more this happened, the more excited Kaba became. This duel didn't seem to be boring. The command to activate the silencer was invalid, so the attack of the True Silent Magician was established. In that case, then counterattack. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Kaba fought back strongly. The Blue Eyes White Dragon opened its mouth and sprayed violent windburst bombs forward. Boom. The True Silent Magician was destroyed by the battle. Miao. 4000 LP 3000 LP. True Silent, I will remember your efforts, and I will definitely make bread for you. Miao said something that Kaba couldn't understand. Bread? Does this guy know what he is talking about? Her silver star sand floated in the air. Kaba looked ahead and asked in confusion, what happened? At this moment, standing on Miao's field was a woman who looked very similar to the True Silent Magician. Silent Magician LV8, 3500 attack power, Magician family. When the real Silent Magician is destroyed, the silent power hidden in the deck will be released. Miao pointed at Kaba and said angrily, don't forget one thing, this battle phase is still in progress. Kaba suddenly woke up. That's right, the battle phase is still going on. The opponent took the initiative to attack the Blue Eyes White Dragon, actually wanting to summon this Silent Magician LV8. Ultimate Silent Blast. Miao made up a very powerful name. Silent Magician LV8 jumped up and sprayed a huge amount of magic power at the arrogant Blue Eyes White Dragon. Boom. The legendary White Dragon, who was inestimable in destroying dragons, fell down. Seto Kaba. 4000 LP 3500 LP. Hehe. Ha 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 ha. You did a good job. Seto Kaba was not angry because the White Dragon was defeated, but was excited from the bottom of his heart. Then, Kaba stared at Miao with complicated eyes and said, "Take off your shabby hood and mask. Who are you? You have such strength. Why do you want to be a lowly thing like a Gillis hunter?" When these words reached Miao's ears, they were automatically filtered into other meanings. Probably. Take off the mask quickly. Let me remember what you look like. Come to work at my KC group. Isn't it better to play cards with me every day than to be a lousy card hunter? Miao was unmoved. He just didn't want to be entangled by Seto, especially because he looked so much like Yami Yuji. What if Yami Yuji left and Kaba annoyed him every day? Heh, it seems you won't listen to advice. It's okay. Seto believes that he will win this duel, and then he will take off the mask on the opponent's face with his own hands. It's my turn. Draw a card. Kaba forcibly ended Miao's turn. Miao was speechless. Although he really had nothing to do, you used this skill. Well, HMPH, 3500 attack power is indeed very high, but do you think the power of Blue Eyes will stop there? Kaba raised the magic card, Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards from the deck. The effect of this magic card is simple and powerful. Seto replenished his hand cards, and then showed Miao a 2-hit combo of band cards. Angel's Charity. Angel's Charity, draw 3 cards. Discard 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard. Seto quickly drew 3 cards, and then sent 2 cards to the graveyard with a raised corner of his mouth. Miao has good eyesight, and he will take a close look at all the cards piled in the graveyard. He watched Kaba send 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons to the graveyard. In this way, the 3 White Dragons will be in the graveyard. Miao seemed to know what Kaba was going to do. Hey ha 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 ha. Kaba laughed devilishly and raised a magic card in his hand. Dragon Mirror! Exclamation mark. I will banish 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons from the graveyard and fusion summon 1 fusion monster. A loud noise came from behind Kaba. A huge blue dragon phantom appeared. Ayo, how the 3-headed blue dragon roared to the sky, shaking the entire space. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, 4500 attack power, Dragon Clan. Ha 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 ha. This is the most powerful Blue Eyes monster. Kaba looked at the 3-headed white dragon with a fanatical look in his eyes. Facing the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in person, Miao was shocked. This terrible roar and oppression may not be as simple as a normal monster. Magic card, quick attack. Seto used the Duel City rules to restrict the fusion monsters, and he would also put these cards in to strengthen the offensive performance of the fusion monsters. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, attack Silent Magician LV8. Triple Ultimate Wind Blast. Facing the destructive triple attack, Silent Magician LV8 has her own pride, and she does not allow retreat. Even if it is an attack power that exceeds the God card, she will face the attack head on. Boom, the huge magic power and dragon power collide. Due to the huge difference in attack power, Silent Magician LV8 was wrong after all. Miao must take this wave of battle damage. Miao. 3000 LP 2000 LP. Ha 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 ha. Cover 1 card. End the turn. Seto snorted coldly, his eyes full of contempt. Because no monster can defeat his Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. My turn. Draw a card. Miao looked at the lightning strike he drew in his hand, and he activated it without hesitation. Boom, a thunder fell. Even the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon will be crushed in this lightning strike. However, Kaba seemed to be well prepared. He opened one of the face down cards. Open the counter trap card. Demon Palace's Bribe. Demon Palace's Bribe can only be activated when the opponent activates a magic or trap card. The activation is invalid and destroyed. The opponent draws 1 card. The terrifying thunderbolt disappeared, and Miao had an extra gold coin in his hand. This gold coin can draw a card. He accepted the bribe. Miao added a card from the deck, and at the critical moment, he drew the cannon fodder swordsman. Perhaps it was because Kaba's fighting spirit level suppressed himself, resulting in a ghost draw. Cover a monster in the backfield. I end this turn. Miao has no good way to deal with the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for the time being. Before this, Miao had injected card dust to evolve the original version of the Elf Swordsman into the Elf Swordsman, who flips the enemy. As long as this cannon fodder swordsman is on the field, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon can't get in for the time being. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49, No Compromise. Covering monsters? What a useless tactic. Kabasito draws a card and covers his quick play magic card on the field. Go, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, crush those annoying monsters. Triple Ultimate Gale Blast. Boom! Exclamation mark. The covered monster was immediately revealed, and it was the effect version of the cannon fodder swordsman. After the aftermath dispersed, the cannon fodder swordsman was safe and sound. This card cannot be destroyed by fighting monsters with an attack power of 1900 or more. Miao explained. Above 1900, Kaba looked unhappy. He didn't expect the opponent to survive with such a small monster. The purity is too low. Kaba still adheres to his own philosophy. Duel monsters must be based on attack power. It's my turn. Draw a card. Miao draws a card, and he raises the Anam God card Heavenly Treasure card to activate it. Golden residual heat appears in the sky, and the sound of coins makes people pregnant. Kaba and Miao replenish their hands until they have 6 cards. Facing the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, you have no choice but to put your hope on the novice card. Kaba still looked like he deserved a beating. I'm sorry, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon must be defeated by me this round. The new hand card brought new hope to Miao. The mission of the cannon fodder swordsman has been completed, and Miao released it as a sacrifice. Come out, Black Magician Girl. Ding, the pink and purple magic circle lit up, and a cute and charming bad girl appeared. Black Magician Girl, 2000 attack power, Magician Family UG. Kaba's expression was pale, but he quickly put away these emotions that shouldn't have, and warned himself that the person in front of him was not Yuji Muto. But why does the opponent have a Black Magician Girl? If Kaba remembered correctly, there seemed to be only one of this card in the world. Fake card? If so, it makes sense. After all, this is the base of gurus. The chewing gum began to expand due to the air blown into the mouth, and finally exploded because it could not withstand the force. The Black Magician Girl licked her lips and put these things into her mouth, began to chew, and continued to repeat these actions. The projection is very real. This is not a fake card, Kaba said firmly. The projection function of the KC Group's dual disk is constantly upgraded. The projection of fake cards can never be so clear. Only real cards can have this kind of expression. Don't be distracted, your dragon is going to be gone. Miao drew a magic card and said, activate the magic card, Black Magic Explosion Break. When there is a Black Magic Girl on the field, the card Black Magic Explosion Break can destroy all the front monsters on the opponent's field. Exclamation mark. The Black Magic Girl raised her magic wand, and a black spirit bomb with a radius of nearly 5 meters gathered above. Disappear. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. As the spirit bomb fell, with a bang, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon was blown to pieces on the spot. Kaba's expression was very ugly. Miao issued an attack command. Black Magic Girl, attack the opponent directly. Kaba's eyes were sharp, and he did not hesitate to open the covered quick play magic card to try to preserve his life value. I will open this card. Shrink. Shrink. Let the original attack power of one monster on the field be reduced to half until the end of the turn. Zzzz. Under the power of shrinkage, the attack power of the Black Magic Girl changed from 2000 to 1000. The attack fell on Kaba, and his life value dropped rapidly. Kaba. 3500 LP 2500 LP. Miao felt that something was wrong here. He looked at the cards in his hand and chose to cover one card on the field. End the turn. Draw a card. Kaba picked up a card to cover one of his eyes, and he said seriously, this dual lens here. Activate Dimension Fusion. Dimension Fusion. Pay 2000 basic points. Both parties special summon as many excluded monsters as possible on their respective fields. When Miao saw Dimension Fusion, the first thing he said was, "Banned card." No wonder Kaba had to use contraction to preserve his life value. It seems that when the treasure card fell from the sky, Kaba drew Dimension Fusion. Kaba. 2500 LP 500 LP, come back, my 3 blue eyes white dragons. As Kaba shouted, 3 twisted whirlpools appeared behind him. 3 silver white dragons appeared. Blue eyes white dragon, 3000 attack power, dragon clan right square bracket asterisk 3. The black magic girl looked unconvinced. She put her hands on her hips and looked at the 3 white dragons with her nose, as if saying, "If you dare, hit me. Face up." Kaba looked at the 2 face-up cards on Miao's field, one of which was a thing that had been covered from the beginning to now. But the more this happened, the more vigilant Kaba became, because he didn't know when this kind of card would jump out and trip you up. In this case, then use absolute power to crush everything in this round. Magic card, Strong Wind. Kaba launched an indiscriminate sweep of the field at this time. Strong Wind, destroy all magic and trap cards. Whoosh, a loud noise after the strong wind blew. The 2 cards in Miao's backcourt were instantly cleared. Kaba looked at the empty backcourt and felt much more comfortable. However, at this time, Miao imitated Iri Yagami and laughed. He, ha 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 ha, you still destroyed my backcourt card. Kaba's expression was not right. Why can he laugh so happily after destroying the cover card? Until Miao released an unusual power from his whole body, and a terrifying black flame pillar rose from behind him. A black sun with red flames on the outside hung high above, emitting dazzling light. The black flames illuminated the entire space. The surrounding walls were torn with unusual cracks. The mercenaries watching the show behind were stunned. They felt that they were involved in something strange. What kind of power is this? Kaba's expression remained calm. Miao slowly opened his eyes, and a red light burst out from them. One of the 2 trap cards destroyed by the wind is Roar of Threatening. Destroying does not mean invalidating. When Roar of Threatening is activated, you cannot declare an attack this turn. The second card is, as soon as the voice fell, a trap card rose from the ground and was displayed in front of Miao. Trap card, Grass and Snakes. When the face down grass and snakes leave the field, because of the opponent, I can special summon a monster from the deck or the extra deck. This card is a so-called powerful trap rewarded after defeating the Mask of Light and Darkness. Miao drew this trap from the beginning, but he didn't expect it to come in handy at this time. Kaba said in a complicated tone, "My magic card actually helped you." Boom. Ah. The black sun fell on Miao's field and slowly dissolved the energy. The appearance of the real Red Eyes Dragon Knight immediately fell into Kaba's eyes. Super Magic Dragon Knight, Red Eyes Dragon Knight, 3000 attack power, Magician family. That's right. The effect of stirring up trouble allows Miao to overtake in a corner to pull out Red Daddy. This monster is not right. Kaba thinks that this monster is very similar to the Black Magician. Intuition tells Kaba that there must be some connection between the 2. It's just that the red eyes field deeply stimulates Kaba. Because Kaba has always looked down on a certain yellow-haired and black dragon. Due to the effect of the roar of intimidation, Kaba cannot attack this round, and he can't use a white dragon to exchange 1-for-1 with Miao's Red Eyes Dragon Knight. In this case, there is only one way left. Chapter 50, The Final Blow. Kaba held up a card in his hand. This monster card was different from ordinary monster cards. Because this card was blue. Sacrifice 3 blue eyes white dragons. When it arrives, the scorching wind will blow over the desolate earth, and the living will become corpses. When light and darkness meet, begin the ritual of summoning the obelisk. Descend, the giant god soldier of obelisk. Boom. The entire crust was shaking, and the earth cracked into terrifying cracks one after another. Black air currents emerged from the ground, emitting endless pressure. This pressure was enough to make anyone kneel on the ground, trembling, and not even daring to raise their heads. The group of mercenaries behind had already lost their normal mind. It's just a game of cards. Is this the way to go? Under the gaze of everyone, the god known for his destructive power appeared. A Berisk's giant god, 4000 attack power. Mythical beast god clan. God card. Miao looked at this god with his own eyes. He had only seen this guy in anime and real cards before. This exaggerated sense of oppression and aura could not be just a projection. Miao's breathing became rapid because of this monster. The OI'd god card can be described as very boring, but the god card in the anime is not that simple. It is not affected by the effects of trap cards. Magic cards are only effective for one turn, and are not affected by the effects of the opponent's monsters below level 10. Control will not be transferred. This is the resistance of the anime version of the god card. Compared with the OI's god card, it is simply a complete blow to the opponent. The appearance of the giant god means that this duel is about to come to an end. The giant god with 4000 attack power crushes a red-eyed dragoon with 3000 attack power, but it can't attack. Taking a deep breath, Kaba knew nothing about the power of the red-eyed dragoon. He instinctively thought that this monster exuded a threat. A strong thought came to mind. This monster must be dealt with within this turn. Magic card. Offering to the dead. Kaba took action. Offering to the dead. Discard one card from your hand to destroy one monster on the field. The old bandage attacked red-eyed dragoon, but could not get close. Sorry, red-eyed dragoon cannot be destroyed by effects. Miao explained the effect of this card. Strong resistance that cannot be destroyed. Kabasito was right. This red-eyed dragoon was very troublesome. The next second, Miao did something. Although your magic card cannot deal with red-eyed dragoon, I choose to discard a card from my hand to make your magic card invalid and destroy it. Miao sent a card to the graveyard, and red-eyed dragoon released red residual heat all over his body. Kaba's magic card was invalidated and destroyed. What are you doing? Kaba couldn't understand. Since red-eyed dragoon could not be destroyed, why would he deliberately waste a card to invalidate offering to the dead? Soon, Kaba got the answer. When red-eyed dragoon chose to invalidate and destroy the card, the sense of oppression it exuded became even stronger, and it felt like it was on par with the god warrior. Red-eyed dragoon. 30,004,000 attack power. Now, the attack power of the god warrior and red daddy has been equal to 4000 points. This is all in your plan. Kaba's tone was a little admiring. Provoking the snake with intimidation to roar, a forbidden attack, and a powerful terminal pulled out. Red-eyed dragoon, which cannot be destroyed by effects, can only be destroyed by battle, which is the best choice, but Kaba can't attack. During this time, Miao will use the power of red-eyed dragoon to continuously increase the attack power, to be on par with or even surpass the god warrior. Of course, the premise is that Kaba is so stupid that he sends a big wind. But this is a duel, you never know what will happen in the next second. Everything is in my plan, Miao said calmly. It's like this, Miao can only go along with the other party, otherwise it will be very embarrassing. Kaba activated a card exclusive to the anime. I activate the continuous magic card, Magic Sanctuary. While this Magic Sanctuary exists, both players select a magic card from their decks and add it to their hands. After that, both players can activate their magic cards at any time during the other player's turn. Miao licked his lips. This card is very interesting. In the anime, this card only appears in Kabasito's hand. It should be an exclusive limited magic card. The two opened their decks and each selected a magic card to add to their hands. Kabasito covered 3 cards on his field and ended his turn. Miao's turn. Draw a card. Majestic Resistance is one of the noblest physiques in Yu-Gi-Oh! Red-eyed dragoon now has high hit points and also has this resistance. Attack. Red-eyed dragoon attacks the Colossus. Miao entered the battle phase without hesitation. Facing this attack, Kaba opened the second Anin God card Command Silencer! Exclamation mark. Oh my god, I'm going to activate the effect of Red-eyed dragoon and discard a card from my hand to negate and destroy your Command Silencer. Miao sent the card in his hand to the graveyard, pointing at Kaba's activated Command Silencer to negate and destroy it. Red-eyed dragoon released a red residual heat, and the Command Silencer was directly Zed. At this moment, Red-eyed dragoon's attack will soar directly. Red-eyed dragoon. 40,005,000 attack power. The attack power exceeds that of the god warrior. Kaba marveled at the power of the dragoon, and at this moment, the god card was not as good as the opponent. The god warrior roared, and began to fight back. How could he, as a dignified god, be humiliated? The sharp super magic blade and the god of destruction fist of the god warrior were about to collide with each other. Even if the two attacks had not collided directly, the terrifying energy generated was spread around. This energy almost destroyed everything around. Crack. The blade of the red-eyes dragoon slowly cracked, and the face of the god warrior was distorted by the opponent's energy. The Colossus is clearly at a disadvantage. When the two attacks are truly established, red-eyes dragoon will perform god killing. Using the effect of magic sanctuary, I will activate it on your turn. Giantization. As Kaba's voice fell, an equipment magic card was directly opened. Since Kabasito has lower health points, the giantization blessing on the Colossus will double the attack power. Although the characteristics of God only accept magic cards for one round, it is enough. Colossus. 40,008,000 attack power. The situation has reversed. The wild and violent energy of the Colossus continues to be released, and the red-eyes dragoon is forced to retreat. The Colossus grabbed the red-eyes dragoon's neck with one hand, raised his right fist, and aimed at the latter, and the condensed scarlet fist was about to fall. Knock knock. Miao loudly pierced the victory that Kabasito saw, saying, "Magic Sanctuary also allowed me to retrieve magic cards from the deck, and now I want to activate this card. Duel fusion! Exclamation mark. Activate when my fusion monster battles the opponent's monster. Red-eyes dragoon increases the attack power of the opponent's monster until the end of the damage step. At this time, there is no clear definition of whether to take the target or not, so dual fusion can take advantage of the current rules. Dual fusion is activated successfully. Red-eyes dragoon. 500,013,000 attack power, 10,000 attack power. Kabasito's expression was horrified. This attack power has broken his cognition. The stronger the attack power, the stronger the energy generated. Red-eyes dragoon was wrapped in black flame outside his body, and the increase in energy throughout his body made it not afraid of god cards. The two collided again. The underground palace could not withstand this impact, and the load-bearing wall of the wall had collapsed. It is not an exaggeration to describe it as the collapse of the sky and the crack of the earth. The mercenaries watching the game no longer wanted to talk. Are you really going to play cards to destroy the world? Are you sure you are normal people? At this last moment, Kabasito's eyes were extremely complicated. He looked at the gibbous hunter in front of him who was hiding his appearance. I, Sito Kaba, acknowledge you. Likewise, I will remember you. Listen carefully, I must see you in the duel city later. After saying that, Kaba concentrated and stared at Miao, trying to see through the mask, to see the man's appearance. Unfortunately, it was in vain. The sound of the fist bones tightening creaked. Kaba gritted his teeth and activated the last cover card with humiliation, saying, "Open the trap card, Destruction Wheel." Destruction Wheel? Miao looked surprised. This Destruction Wheel is the first generation anime version. But this card is useless against Red Daddy and Giant God Soldier. Miao looked at the black magic girl on his field. The black magic girl looked innocent. She was watching the show with popcorn in her arms. "What are you looking at me for?" The black magic girl stared at Miao and asked. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.